Hi guys, this is Hirosaki. This story is all about what if Naruto avenged to his family. Naruto's not the Jinchuriki, his younger brother is. After an attack, Naruto is left without something important and forgotten by his family. A hidden bunker will help him grow into a fine ninja and show his parents what they threw away. His memory will be avenged. Disclaimer, I own nothing. Find out here. Welcome aboard. Chapter 14. Last time, he turned his head slightly to see the hunter Nin chalking him with a large, well-woven rope. Now, Naruto's hands quickly reached to the rope and he dug his fingers into the closing space between it and his throat. At least I'll be able to somewhat breath, Naruto thought as he pulled at the rope. Haku had a hell of a grip, Naruto had to at least give him that much. Naruto watched as Zabuza rose to his feet and glared at him. Damn, you pack a mean punch, brat, Zabuza said. He then punched Naruto in the gut hard, making Naruto groan in pain. Zabuza nodded at Haku and Haku began tightening the rope around Naruto's neck. Who sent you? Zabuza demanded at Naruto. Naruto chalked out why. Your fashion consultant. Naruto spat out, making Zabuza punch him in the face. Naruto's brow split open as he stared at Zabuza defiantly. Zabuza then followed with a hook to Naruto's stomach, making him fall. He nodded to Haku again, Haku's grip tightening the rope. Shit. Damn it, everything is getting blurry, Naruto thought as he tried to breathe, his face red from the lack of oxygen. How many men are on your team? Zabuza demanded, making Haku look at him questioningly. Zabuza-sama, he's the only one who we found, Haku said. Look at him, Haku. He's obviously a professional, look at the way he's dressed. Black and incognito, beret obviously points to an organization, he has all of the equipment a professional would need. No professional in their right mind would go into a mission this dangerous alone, Zabuza rationalized. Haku nodded at Zabuza's explanation as Naruto tried to wheeze out a response. Zabuza nodded at Haku and Haku loosened the grip on Naruto's neck, making him stumble and gasp for breath. I'll ask once again, how many men are on your team? Zabuza demanded. Just your mother, Naruto replied, making Zabuza kick him in the stomach. Well, this one is useless. Kill him, Zabuza told Haku. Haku nodded and made a spike out of ice. I don't like killing Naruto-san, Haku started as he approached the downed boy. But to be an effective weapon for Zabuza-sama, I will kill my feelings and become a true shinobi. Before Haku could stab Naruto, a loud noise resounded through the catacombs. Haku yelled as a sharp pain flared in his shoulder. Haku gripped his shoulder, but before he could react, Naruto sent an upper kick to Haku's head, making the androgynous shinobi fall to the floor. What the hell? Zabuza demanded, but was forced to take cover as a flurry of kunai came at him. What's going on? Naruto thought as he raised his head to see his three clones mounting an all-out long-range attack. Naruto took the opportunity to get up and run into the nearest catacomb tunnel. As he ran, he failed to pay attention to his surroundings and was once again close-lined by Zabuza. Naruto hopped to his feet and got into a fighting stance as the swordsman took his own. Let's see, based from our fight, his main strengths are kenjutsu and water ninjutsu. The hall is long enough for him to unsheath his sword, but not long enough for him to be able to use it effectively. Anywhere jutsus are out of the question since there is no available water source and it would probably flood the tunnels. Naruto was shaken from his thoughts as he ducked under a punch from Zabuza and countered with a kick to Zabuza's ribs, making him grunt in pain. Before Zabuza could react, Naruto sent a kick to his face, making his brow split. Come on, is the big bad demon scared? Naruto taunted, making Zabuza growl in rage. Zabuza got up and threw a series of jabs and punches at Naruto, only for them to be sidestepped or swatted away. Zabuza tried to kick Naruto in the face, only for his foot to be caught by the blonde. As Naruto caught the foot, he immediately sent a kick to Zabuza's knee, making the swordsman yell in pain. Naruto tried to send another kick, only for the swordsman to spin in midair and kick him away. Naruto slowly got up, only to be slammed back onto the ground as Zabuza grabbed him by his neck and slammed him against the floor. You aren't going to make a fool out of me, brat, Zabuza yelled as he stomped on the back of Naruto's neck. Before Naruto could react, a figure tackled Zabuza off him. Go, get out of here, boss. Naruto heard his clone yell. He wiped the blood from his nose and ran full speed towards the exit, making sure to avoid any guard that may have been able to take him down on the way. As he got to the rear entrance, he saw his other two clones standing there. What the hell happened to you, boss? They asked him. I got my ass kicked. Naruto replied, then turned to them. Did you guys tag all of the main support beams in the house and catacombs? Naruto asked, and all of the clones nodded in response. Naruto took this as a go-ahead and formed his hands into the detonation hand seals. Boom! Naruto muttered. In the catacombs, various support beams had been tagged with arrows. As soon as Naruto activated his hand seal, the seal engraved into each of the arrowheads began to sizzle. Before anyone could react, an explosion shook the catacombs and the main support beams, making the land around the main mansion into one big sinkhole. But it didn't end there. As soon as the main beams of the catacombs fell, the arrows tagging the main support beams of the main household were triggered. Naruto watched as the once proud mansion crumbled to pieces. Damn, that was definitely one of my tougher operations. Naruto mused as he let out a sigh of relief. He turned and was about to leave when a loud voice resounded through the clearing. I'm not through with you yet, brat. Naruto groaned and turned to see Zabuza charging at him, blade drawn and in hand. Naruto took out a kunai and charged at Zabuza. Zabuza threw a large slash at Naruto's face, only for Naruto to duck under it and to stab his kunai into Zabuza's already injured knee. Before Zabuza had time to register the sudden surge of pain, Naruto followed up with an uppercut to Zabuza's jaw and then slammed his elbow into Zabuza's face, breaking his nose. Naruto withdrew his katana and charged at Zabuza, blade position to stab Zabuza's heart. Seconds before Naruto stabbed Zabuza's heart, a giant ice mirror appeared in front of him. Naruto could only stare as his blade pierced Haku's heart and ended the young shinobi's life. Naruto grabbed Haku's still body and jumped away as Zabuza slashed at him with his sword. What the hell is your problem? Your comrade just died and the first thing you try to do is slash his body in half and dishonor his sacrifice. Naruto growled at Zabuza. Haku was nothing but a weapon for me to use as I see fit. Zabuza coldly stated as he steadied his body weight on his good foot and began charging at Naruto. Before Zabuza could get close, he was pierced in the shoulder by an arrow, making him drop his giant sword. Then another arrow pierced his leg, making him fall to the floor. You're wrong, Naruto stated as he approached the downed Zabuza, bow in hand. Haku was a person, just like you and me. He had feelings, dreams, aspirations, and goals. And you know what they were. They were all to help you achieve your dreams. Naruto said coldly, making Zabuza wince at the harsh words. I thought people like Gato were scum, doing and taking what they wanted when they wanted. Naruto began. But it's people like you that are the real scum. Sacrificing others for your own gain and not even batting an eyelash when they die in front of you. Naruto turned and walked away. Wait, where are you going, brat? Come back, our battle isn't over. Zabuza yelled at him. It's over. Naruto muttered as the arrows in Zabuza's shoulder and leg began fizzing. With that, Zabuza's life was ended in a large-scale explosion. Naruto winced as he made his way back to Tazuna's house, the ringing sound in his head and his damaged face making it hard for him to walk straight. The next day, Naruto's room. Naruto was having a pretty good morning. He woke up in a soft bed, the floor was warm, and his split brow and bruised face were already healed thanks to his healing factor. He made his way downstairs, only to see Tazuna, Tsunami, and Inari all gathered around the kitchen table. Well, what happened? Tazuna asked Naruto. You got a pen? Naruto asked Tazuna. Damn it, quit trying to change the subject on me, brat. Tazuna demanded, only to shut his mouth as Naruto dropped the deeds to Gato's business and a transfer of ownership before the drunken bridge builder. Gato is dead, and his base of operations has been destroyed. Naruto stated, making Inari stare at him with wide eyes. Why, you're lying. Inari stuttered out. I told you, no man is invincible, especially not one who hides behind money. Naruto said to him with a grin, making Inari break out into tears. Tsunami wrapped her son into a comforting hug and held him close as her father signed the transfer of ownership over to himself. But why are you doing this, brat? You could have just overthrown Gato and take his place. Tazuna asked suspiciously. I hold no interest in ruling over people. It is not my place. I would rather ensure that they have the ability to choose their own place in life. Naruto replied as he finished his tea and got up. Well, we got work, don't we? Naruto asked Tazuna. The hell with that. As soon as the villagers hear of what happened to Gato, there's going to be a festival to celebrate the fall of the tyrant. Tazuna replied happily with a bottle of sake in hand. Today we celebrate, tomorrow we go back to work with hangovers. He exclaimed happily, making Naruto sweat drop. Time skip, 3 days. Naruto smiled as he looked at the finished bridge. After townspeople had heard of Gato's fate, a giant festival had been held to celebrate it. There was food, drink, games, and music all around. Everything had been fine until Tazuna announced that Naruto had been the one to take down Gato. After word spread, everyone wanted to meet the hero, which led to him having to sit through various handshakes and greetings with the townspeople. The celebration had dragged into the early morning before everyone had finally fallen asleep. The next day and the day after that had been nothing but hard work, but there was a sense of accomplishment to it. With Gato gone, a lot of people volunteered for the bridge and they had managed to get it done in 2 days. Which brings us to where we are today. Naruto stood in full uniform minus his face mask besides Tazuna as the old drunk gave his speech about Wave prospering thanks to the bridge and the newly acquired Wave Shipping Incorporated. However, the next part of Tazuna's speech caught his attention. And now, in the honor of the hero who helped overthrow Gato, we the people of Wave have nominated that this recently finished bridge be named the Great Naruto Bridge. Tazuna exclaimed, making the entire crowd cheer and Naruto feel self-conscious at the feeling of having the spotlight suddenly put on him. As the crowd cheered loudly got their hero and their newfound freedom, Naruto couldn't help but smile. I'm going to have to leave soon if I want to make it to the bunker in Kyumo soon, Naruto thought as he looked at the celebrating town people. Chapter 15 now. Time skip, 3 days later, border between Land of Fire and Land of Hot Water. Naruto groaned as he looked towards the Land of Hot Water. It had been 3 days since he helped the Land of Waves finish the Great Naruto Bridge, and that very same night he left the Land of Waves. Since then, there was only one word that could describe the way he was feeling. I'm so bored. Naruto mentally yelled as he kept to the walked path. I need some excitement soon. Naruto muttered under his breath. I wonder how things are going back in Wave. Naruto asked as he crossed the border into the Land of Hot Water. Back in the Land of Waves, it was the early morning that we see 4 individuals walking towards the docks of the Land of Fire. No, Sasuke-kun is the best. A loud shrill voice yelled. Kakashi, a man standing at 181 centimeters with gray gravity-defying hair and his face covered by a face mask and his Konoha headband covering his left eye. Nah, Sakura-san, please stop yelling. A girl with green eyes and pink bubblegum hair turned to look directly at Kakashi. But Kakashi-sensei, Hiruzen Baka tried to say that he was better than Sasuke-kun. Well, I was named the Rookie of the Year. A voice behind the both of them stated. Sakura and Kakashi turned to see Sasuke Uchiha, the last left living Uchiha. He had onyx eyes and dark hair. He always had a holier-than-thou air around him. Still kicked your ass in the spars, a voice said behind them all. Sasuke sent a death glare to Hiruzen Namikaze, the heir of the Namikaze clan and son of the Yondaime Hokage. The boy had red hair and chocolate brown eyes. Nah, Hiruzen-kun, would you please not argue with your teammates? Kakashi asked nicely. Hiruzen nodded, making Sasuke scowl and Sakura growl. Why did Minato-sensei have to give my team this assignment? I could have handled it easily by myself, but no. I had to bring the rat pack with me, Kakashi mentally whined as he recalled the meeting between himself and his longtime sensei. Flashback, mission assignment. Kakashi, I want you to go to the Land of Waves and help the people build a bridge to liberate the country from their dependence on Gato shipping. You will go with your team, and as they take turns guarding the bridge builder Tazuna, you are to take care of Gato. Minato finished. Kakashi-sensei, wouldn't it be easier just for me to go to Wave and do this mission solo? Kakashi asked. Well, yes, but we need the bridge builder to be safe and that is a 4-man team job. Minato replied. Why would we need him, sensei? Kakashi asked. He came to me seeking help a bit of a week ago. He offered the payment for a C-rank mission and a trading contract. I declined him in an effort to get him to offer more, but he left the very next day. You are to go to Wave and help him under these conditions, Minato stated as he handed a list of demands to Kakashi. Kakashi read the note out loud. These are the demands to Konoha: helping the land of Wave, an equivalent payment of 2 A-rank missions, a trading agreement exclusively with Konoha, and a 50% discount on any future services required from Wave. Kakashi finished. Do you understand your mission? Minato asked Kakashi. Yes, Hokage-sama. Kakashi finished. So basically, I'm to extort a country by overthrowing its tyrant, only to replace its rule by one of a hidden village. Kakashi sighed. Present time. Kakashi shook his head as he looked to the dockworker ahead of him. Excuse me, is there any way we could charter a boat to the land of waves? Kakashi asked the man as politely as possible. A boat? Why not just take the bridge? The worker asked Kakashi, making him look at the man with an inquisitive look. I thought the bridge wasn't finished? Kakashi asked. It was finished about 3 days ago. They named it after the hero of Wave. The worker replied, making Kakashi look at him. Well, could you direct us to the bridge? Kakashi asked. The man nodded and began giving Kakashi instructions on how to get to the bridge. Time skip, the beginning of the Great Naruto Bridge. Kakashi and his team looked in awe at the giant bridge in front of them. Kakashi-sensei, what is this? Sasuke asked as he stared at the giant bridge. The Great Naruto Bridge, named after the man who helped liberate this land and brought hope back to its people. Sakura read off a plaque, not noticing the flash of recognition on Kakashi and Hiruzen's faces. Did you just say Naruto? Kakashi asked Sakura and got a nod in response. It couldn't be Naruto-kun, could it? No, that's impossible. The poor boy couldn't even use chakra and he wasn't trained in the ninja arts. Besides, the last time I saw he was about, when was the last time I saw Naruto-kun? Kakashi wondered as he put away his Ika book. I can't remember. Kakashi admitted to himself with a tone of shame. Hiruzen, however, was thinking different thoughts. That couldn't be Big Bro, could it? No, Big Bro couldn't use chakra. But then where is Big Bro? No one has seen him since my 5th birthday. Hiruzen looked to the ground as he remembered his older brother. Hiruzen remembered what happened that night. He was made clan heir. However, he didn't learn of the consequences of his father and mother's actions until much later. According to the old customs in Konoha, only one child from a clan could be the clan heir, usually the firstborn. In order for another child to become the clan heir, the first had to die in battle or in a challenge. The only other way to name a clan heir without bloodshed was to disown the current clan heir and name the new clan heir immediately. Since he showed more potential than Naruto, Hiruzen was named the clan heir. It wasn't until a year later that Hiruzen learned that interesting fact. Then, he learned the reason his brother showed no promise in the ninja arts was because he was injured in an attack from an unknown assailant. From the file he read on the attack, it was believed that the attack was meant to disable him, the Nine Tails container, not his brother. From that day, Hiruzen only had one mission in mind. Find his brother. Unfortunately, that was easier said than done. His brother had completely fallen off the face of the earth. Now, here was a slight chance that this Naruto was his brother. I will find you, Oniai-san, Hiruzen thought. Back in the land of hot water, Naruto sneezed as he began setting his campsite for the evening. Someone must be talking about me. Naruto mused as he sat near the campfire and unsealed some meat to cook. Back in the land of waves, Tazuna's town, Kakashi was wide-eyed as he looked at the thriving community before him. According to the report he got from the Hokage, this town was supposed to be in poverty due to Gato's high-cost shipping and his cost of living taxes. This town was the exact opposite. People were happy, kids were running, there were exotic foods and spices in the market and people seemed genuinely prosperous. Kakashi was once again shaken from his thoughts as a gray-haired man wearing glasses with a large beard and dark eyes approached him. Hello, I'm Tazuna, the mayor of Wave. How may I help you? He asked Kakashi. Hello, my name is Kakashi, and this is my team. We were sent from Konoha to aid you in getting rid of your little problem. Kakashi finished quietly. Tazuna's face went into a scowl as he remembered the selfishness of the Hokage when he visited the hidden village. Hokage-sama has authorized me to take care of your problem in exchange for these conditions, Kakashi said as he handed the list to the man. Tazuna smiled as he took the list. Let's see what that bastard was trying to extort from me. Tazuna thought as he took the list and read over it. His scowl deepened as he read the conditions. No, thank you, Tazuna said to Kakashi. What do you mean no? Do you want to live under the rule of a tyrant for the rest of your life? Kakashi asked. Tazuna laughed as he signaled the team from Konoha to follow him. Come with me, Tazuna said. After roughly 15 minutes of walking, they arrived at what seemed to be the site of a large explosion. What are we doing here, Tazuna-san? Kakashi asked. This is the grave of Gato, the shipping tycoon of Wave, and what remains of his giant mansion and his thugs. Tazuna finished. What happened? Kakashi asked as he surveyed the damaged. Professional-grade explosives, whoever did this was well-trained. Kakashi thought as he heard the man speak. Naruto happened. That boy was a godsend. He managed to not only protect me through the building of the bridge, but he also killed Gato and his henchmen. But that's not all he did. He brought hope back into this place, Tazuna said with a smile. Hope? How did he bring hope? Sasuke asked with a doubtful glare. Before he came around, no one dared oppose Gato. But when he did arrive, he changed things. When my workers started quitting on me, he managed to pick up the slack and help build the bridge. He took it upon himself to take care of Gato and his whole corporation, despite there being little pay in it. Even after he managed to do all of that, he helped bring this land back to its knees. Tazuna finished as he looked at the ruins. How did one man help bring the land out of poverty and rise it to the happy-go-lucky and busy trading hub it is today? Kakashi asked. Tazuna smiled as he looked at Kakashi. He gave us what we really needed. So, neither the people of this land nor Nami Shipping Incorporated will yield to the demands of your Hokage. We already yielded once, we will not do it again, Tazuna stated firmly and began to walk away. Wait, is there any way we could work out an exclusive trading contract between the Land of Waves and Konoha? Kakashi asked. No, we cannot. The Land of Waves is a free trading hub, open to all of the countries. And we will not show favoritism to anyone. He finished as he turned to walk away. Wait, Tazuna-san. He turned to see the small red-haired kid looking at him with desperate eyes. This hero of yours, Naruto. What did he look like? What was his last name? He asked. You think I will sell him out just so Konoha can try to recruit or kill routine on him? Tazuna asked. Please, old man. This is important. Hiruzen pleaded. Well, his name is Naruto Romanov. He began, making Kakashi and Hiruzen's obvious tension lesson. He was about 16 years old, blonde hair, and the deepest blue eyes you could imagine. Tazuna finished and then saw the looks of excitement flash over Kakashi and Hiruzen's faces. And that's all I will tell, Tazuna stated as he walked away. Oh, and do enjoy our busy little town, he called back as he left the clearing. I have to get word of this back to Sensei, Kakashi thought as he summoned a messenger bird, wrote a quick message to the Hokage, and sent it on its way. Could it be Big Bro that did this? Hiruzen thought in awe as he took a real good look at the destroyed building. If Big Bro is this strong, I need to hurry and get even stronger so I can catch up to him and find him, Hiruzen thought with a look of determination as he raised his hand. And that is the promise of a lifetime. Chapter 16. Last time, Hiruzen thought with a look of determination as he raised his hand. And that is the promise of a lifetime. Now, border between Land of Hot Water and Land of Frost, Naruto groaned as he looked ahead towards the border of the Land of Frost. I have the worst freaking luck, Naruto mentally complained. He was wearing his snow camouflage jacket and pants, with a white face mask and a white beret over his head. He had managed to get through the Land of Hot Water relatively easily, but now he only had one more land before he got into the Land of Lightning and into Kumo. Overall, nothing major had really happened since he left the Land of Waves. Since he already knew which path to avoid, he managed to circle around Kanahagakure no Sato completely. Naruto was shaken from his thoughts as a rustling noise was heard to his left. He turned to see nothing but a white blur and the pitter-patter of feet crunching snow. Dinner time, he thought with a grin as he unsealed his bow along with a non-explosive arrow. He jumped into a tree and watched carefully for any sign of movement. Okay, white and small, so I'm guessing rabbit. Eyes are a dead giveaway, but this one is smarter. Naruto mused as he jumped from tree branch to tree branch searching for his dinner. His attention was caught by two large red eyes seemingly floating in the snow. Gotcha! He whispered as he took aim and fired. His aim was true and it struck the rabbit in the head, killing it instantly. Before Naruto could retrieve it, a kunai whizzed past his head. He turned to see four shinobi headed towards him, all wearing winter wear. One was a sandy blonde with dark eyes, another was a blonde with blue eyes and a generous bust. Behind them were a dark-skinned boy with short spiky white hair and a dark-skinned girl with long red hair and amber eyes. Leading them up was a shinobi wearing the standard uniform of a jounin. He had black hair and eyes, but they were twisted into a fearful expression. They all had the standard forehead protector from Kumo. Move it, damn it! The man in jounin garb yelled as he pushed Naruto off to the side. Before he could retaliate, the blonde with dark eyes in purple turned to him. Sorry, she yelled as she kept running at high speeds. What the hell just happened? Naruto asked himself as he picked himself up. He then saw three three-man teams chasing after them. Clothing looks like it's meant for warmer weather, so they're obviously not from here. Dark brown color may be associated with their village, and their forehead protectors show two large rocks. They're obviously from IWA, if I'm right, but why are they chasing Kumo shinobi? Naruto wondered as he looked towards where they ran off. No time to waste. He muttered as he took off after them. Border of Land of Lightning. Naruto silently landed on a tree branch and watched as the team from Kumo kept fleeing from the team from IWA. They had been running non-stop since the Land of Frost and everyone seemed to be exhausted except for the sandy blonde wearing purple. Interesting, Naruto thought as he used the scope on his bow to get a closer look. He watched as the Kumo jounin pushed Yujito in front of his team and began fleeing. Take care of them, demon, the man demanded, and then ordered the rest of his team to scatter. Yujito had a hurt expression on her face, but she then steeled herself as she withdrew a kunai. The jounin had already scattered, but she noticed that Samui, Omoi, and Karui still remained. What the hell are you guys doing? She demanded as she waited for the approaching IWA shinobi. We're a team, Yujito, Karui said as she withdrew her sword. We either live or die together, no one gets left behind. Omoi continued. Leaving a comrade behind is not cool. Samui finished as she poised her sword to strike. Thanks, you guys, but get out of here. That's an order. She yelled as the 9 IWA shinobi charged at them. With Naruto. Naruto smirked as he pulled out an explosive arrow and aimed it at the head of the lead IWA ninja. With a resounding thwack, the arrow flew and buried itself into the nin's head. What the hell? One of the IWA nins exclaimed as he looked at his comrade. Boom! Naruto muttered. With Yujito and the team. Yujito watched as an arrow flew out of nowhere and buried itself into the incoming IWA nin's head. She also heard the nin's statement, but that's not what worried her. What worried her was the explosion that rocked the clearing. Earth release, Earth-style wall. Karui yelled as she slammed her hand on the floor in front of them, making a large, chakra-reinforced wall of rock. Yujito and the rest of the team took cover behind the wall. With Naruto. Naruto took off his winter camouflage jacket and sealed it, then made a shadow clone. Go! He said to the shadow clone as he stuck to the treetops, carefully and silently making his way to the Kumo team. With the clone, Naruto jumped out of the treetop with bow in hand and stared defiantly at the IWA ninjas. Hey, idiots! He yelled, betting their attention. Naruto then ducked under a large boulder as a flurry of kunai came at him. Shit, I need a distraction, the clone thought as he dug into his ninja pouch. He pulled out a piece of string tied into a circle and a mischievous smile crawled onto his face. He slipped it into his hands and rose from behind the boulder. You guys should feel honored, you're about to see something that hasn't been seen since the time of the Sage of Six Paths. he exclaimed. The IWA ninja were ready to attack as he got closer, but were ordered to stand down. Ikuno, why are we standing down? Anin asked his leader. Don't be an idiot. If he has a bloodline, we can capture him and bring him back to IWA. If not, there's 3 people on this team that can erect a barrier in no time at all. The man reasoned and got a somewhat forced nod of recognition from his men. They all watched as Naruto continued making odd hand seals. With Yujito and her team. Yujito and her team watched on as this idiot approached the IWA Nin while making hand seals. Why aren't they attacking? Karui asked. Maybe he has some ultra-secret powerful bloodline and they want to capture him so IWA can take over the world. Omoy exclaimed in a panicked voice. Nah, what are you guys watching? An unknown voice asked behind them. They all turned to see the exact same blonde before them. But, aren't you supposed to be over there? Karui demanded, only to get a nod from the blonde. But I am, Naruto replied happily. But. Before Samui could argue, Naruto rose his finger to his lips. Relax and enjoy the show. Naruto finished as he watched his clone. With the clone and the IWA team. The IWA team watched fearfully as the blonde boy finished his hand seals. Before he could say the name of the technique, 2 IWA ninjas were at his side restraining him. This made the rest of them feel a bit better as they approached him. Hey, brat! The leader asked harshly. What was that technique you were trying to finish? The clone looked at him with an eye smile as it began charging chakra to its core. Cat's cradle, he replied as he parted his hands to show the string making a cradle from the ties in his fingers. The leader grew red from anger as he looked at the clone. Kill him! He demanded from the guards restraining him. Unfortunately, only one word was heard as they tried to kill him. Boom! A large explosion rocked the heart of the IWA team, leaving only 2 of them able to stand and the rest of them in pain. With Yujito and her team. Yujito and Samui watched in awe as the clone made a complete fool of the IWA Jounins and disabled most of them with one move. They watched as the blonde moved in and killed the rest of them with well-placed arrows. Cool. Samui muttered under her breath with a small blush on her face, then shook it off as Yujito and the rest of her team approached the blonde. Naruto was sealing his bow into his arm as a voice yelled out to him. Hey! He turned to see the blonde in purple talking to him. Yes? Naruto asked as he turned to see the Kumo team approaching him. Not that we don't appreciate your help, Omoy began, but who the hell are you? Karui finished. Isn't it common courtesy to introduce yourself first? Naruto asked. My name is Yujito. Yujito ni. This is Omoy, the blonde pointed to the dark-skinned boy with spiky white hair. Karui, she pointed to the redhead with amber eyes, and Samui. She finished as the blonde with blue eyes and a generous bust waved at him. My name is Naruto. Naruto Romanov. Naruto said as he shook everyone's hands. Nice to meet you, man. Omoy said. Hey. Karui said. Cool to meet you, Naruto-ku-san. Samui said with a small blush on her face as she managed to catch herself. Good to meet you all. He said with a smile. Are you guys shinobi? He asked as he pointed to their forehead protectors. Yes, but I'm sure we don't have to tell you twice. Omoy said as he pointed to his beret, then noticed it didn't have a symbol. Wait, you aren't a shinobi? Karui asked. Not officially nor for any village. Naruto replied, actually, I was just heading to Kumo. Why are you going to Kumo? Omoy asked. Some friends left me property there and I want to claim it. Naruto replied. Well, you're going to have to speak to the Reikage first, but I'm sure he'll let you move into Kumo. Yujito said. Yeah, so long as you join the shinobi forces. We could use someone with your specific skill set. Omoy finished. That's fine, I was thinking of becoming a shinobi anyway. Naruto said as he unsealed a scroll. Well, we better get going. Karui said excitedly at the prospect of being back home. Before we go, would you mind if I changed? I'm kinda dressed for freezing weather, not warm. Yujito nodded as Naruto left to the tree line to change. As soon as Naruto was out of earshot, Yujito began. What do you guys think? Is he a threat or should we trust him until we get to Kumo? She asked. Well, he's strong so he's a possible threat. Omoi said. But he helped us, at least let's take that as a sign of good faith. Karui interrupted. What do you think, Samui? Yujito asked as she turned to her fellow blonde. He's cool, and he did help us without us asking. I say we wait to get to know him better before we pass judgment. Besides, if he's a threat, we kill him. If he isn't, Kumo gets a powerful shinobi. Either way, there is no loss. Samui finished. Yujito and the others nodded at her logic and waited for Naruto to come back. With Naruto smiled as he listened to their conversation through the bug he dropped on the ground. They're cautious, but not extremely so. And they are willing to give me a chance, he thought as he finished putting on his standard uniform. He then walked out towards the team. Hey, you guys ready? He asked, not noticing the small blush from Samui and Yujito. Why, yeah, let's go, Yujito replied as she tried to force down her blush. As they began walking, Naruto turned and winked at Samui. Thanks for giving me a chance, he stated, making it seem like he was talking to everyone. Only Yujito noticed the wink Samui got and huffed at it. Wait, what am I thinking? She asked herself as she tried to focus on the walk to Kumo. One thing was for sure, things were going to be interesting in Kumo. Chapter 17. Last time. One thing was for sure, things were going to be interesting in Kumo. Now, Kumogakure no Sato, Naruto groaned as he stood at the gates of the hidden village. Yujito and her team had checked in and requested an audience with the Raikage. Soon, a team of Anbu from Kumo came down and tied his hands together behind his back. What the hell? Naruto demanded as he tried to free himself. Sorry sir, but this is standard procedure for any outsiders that want to see the Raikage. Naruto groaned, but stopped struggling and followed Yujito and her team. Raikage Tower. You what? A loud voice boomed from the tower. I'm sorry sir, but various teams from IWA were closing in on us. I decided to leave the demon. He started, only to be punched squarely in the face by the Raikage. Don't you dare call her that. The Raikage demanded. Where is she and the rest of your team? Demanded at the pathetic excuse of a shinobi before him. Well, I'm not sure. The man finished. After I ordered Yujito to stay back and fight off the teams, I ordered them to scatter. I haven't seen them since. The man finished with a hint of fear in his voice. I was about to kill the pathetic idiot standing before him, but was stopped by a knocking sound on his door. Not now, Mabui, he yelled as a dark-skinned young woman with green eyes and silver hair tied into a ponytail walked into his office. Team Yujito to see you with an outsider that requests an audience. Relief flashed over A's face as he heard that Yujito and her team were safe and in his office. Send them in, he said and then turned to the Jounin. As of now, you are officially stripped of your rank and demoted to Genin. Now leave, he yelled at the cowering man. The Genin nodded and ran out of the Raikage's office as fast as he could. A then took a seat and stared intently at the door as Yujito, Samui, Karui, Omoi, and a strange blonde-haired teen filed into his office. Interesting, he thought as Yujito began her report. Naruto stepped into the office quietly behind Samui after the silver-haired secretary, Mabui, had told them to enter. He analyzed the Raikage with a critical eye as Yujito began her report on what happened. Silver hair must be a common trait in Kumo. Overdeveloped physique shows an obvious preference to hand-to-hand combat. He mused as he looked at the dark-skinned white-haired man with a mustache, beard, and an overly developed physique. Naruto was snapped from his thoughts as A addressed him. Hey, you. What's your name? A asked. Isn't it common courtesy to give your own name before asking someone else's? Naruto asked in a bored tone, making a tick mark develop on A's head. My name is A, the Raikage of Kumo. Now who are you, brat? He asked. My name is Naruto Romanov, Naruto stated. So, you're the one who managed to take down the teams of IWA Jounins and save Yujito and her team? A asked dubiously. Yes, I did. And I hear you want to be a Kumo civilian? A asked. Yes, if it will let me claim property here. Naruto said. Yes, I heard about that. What property are you trying to claim? A asked. It's a private property on the outskirts of Kumo. Some friends left it to me when they died. Naruto replied. Well, judging from what I have heard, there would be no problem for you to join Kumo. However, there are a few stipulations. A started. And what do they include? Naruto asked as he took a seat. Well, for one you have to join the shinobi program. From then, you will have to be on a probationary status for 2 months. Afterwards, you will be instated as a Chunin level shinobi and work your way from there. Finished. Naruto nodded at the conditions that is set. Fine, I'll join the shinobi program. Under one condition. I'm put on Yugito-chan's team. Naruto stated. Yugito-chan? Mentally asked and smirked. Fine, welcome to the ranks of Kumo. Said as he tossed a forehead protector to Naruto. Umbu will escort you to your property and make sure you behave. During your probationary period of 2 months, you will only be allowed to take D-rank missions. Anything needed as far as food and clothing will be provided to you until your first month of probation is complete. Finished. Naruto nodded and took the forehead protector. Dismissed. Yugito will. Began only to be cut off by Samui. If it's cool with you, I'd like to show him around. She said in a quiet tone. We'll both show him around. Yugito said with a forced smile on her face. Hell, how about Team Yugito shows him around? Karui and Omoi stated in unison as they grabbed the blonde and dragged him out of the door and into the village. Things are going to get interesting with that kid here. Amused as he stared outside the window. He turned back to his desk only to be greeted by the sight of huge stack of paperwork. Damn it, it just keeps multiplying. Growled. Time skip. After the tour of Kumo, Naruto smiled as Karui and Omoi said their goodbyes to him. Overall, today had been a blast. After showing him to the ninja stores, restaurants, clinics, and supermarkets, Team Yugito had decided to treat him to lunch as a way of thanking him for saving their asses. After lunch, everyone noticed that it had gotten pretty dark. Omoi and Karui excused themselves, stating that their parents would kill them if they got home late. Which left him, Samui, and Yugito alone. So, Naruto-san, where do you plan on living? Samui asked. I'm going to head to this location and see if this property is still live-able. We'll come with you, Yugito happily said as she sent a small death glare to Samui. Thanks, but I'm sure that I'll be able to find it by myself. But, I'll see you guys around. Naruto said as he took off. Now, which way is the bunker? Naruto asked as he looked at the locations on the map. Outskirts of Kumo, base of Mt. Mayanashi. Naruto looked at the mountain in front of him. Is this where the bunker is supposed to be? Naruto asked as he took out the key to the bunker and the instructions to getting there. The bunker is located at these coordinates. The entrance is hidden under a large metal grate. After you raise it, there will be a small set of stairs that will lead to a flight of stairs. This flight leads to a large, metal door with a control panel. The code is 2836437. Naruto looked at the ground and sighed. This is going to take a while. Naruto muttered as he made a few shadow clones and sent them to search for the metal grate. Half an hour later, Naruto walked to the base of the mountain after a clone that found the entrance to the bunker dispelled. He lifted the large, metal grate covering the stairwell and slowly made his way towards the door. He took out a small flashlight from a pocket in his vest and shined it around the door trying to find the control panel. It should be right around here, Naruto thought as he walked towards the panel and typed in the password. Password accepted in automated voice, exclaimed Naruto. Watched as the large door was opened to reveal a smaller version of the bunker from Konoha. He made 5 shadow clones instructed them to get the layout of the place as he explored the hallway. 15 minutes later, the clones dispelled and he got the layout of the place. He quickly headed to the nearest bedroom and he crashed. I'll sort this place out tomorrow, he muttered under his breath as sleep overtook him. The next day, Naruto groaned as the alarm clock went off. Damn it, it's still early. Naruto thought as he got up and headed to the main computer. After he got there, he took the portable hard drive and connected it to the computer. 15 minutes later, the information was completely loaded and booted into the computer. Naruto watched as the screen lit up and Natalia's face popped into the screen. "Naruto, it took you long enough," she said with a small smirk on her face. "Well, overthrowing a dictator will do that to you," he replied happily. "Unfortunately, I am afraid that there are no robots here that I can download anyone into," Natalia said sadly. "But you said," Naruto began. "I know what I said, Naruto, but situations change. We'll still be on screen so that if you need us, we'll be here. But other than that, you'll be on your own," Natalia said sadly. She noticed his sad expression and loaded everyone's personalities into the screen. Naruto watched as Cap, Tony, Jarvis, and Hawkeye popped into screen. "Wow, you really need a girlfriend," Tony said to Naruto. "Dude, relax. We'll be here, the place is stocked with non-perishable food, the generator on this place can go on for almost infinity, and this place is virtually strong enough to survive a nuclear war," Tony continued. "You'll be fine. We'll be in the mainframe when you need us," Cap continued. "Now, how about filling us in on what you've been doing?" Natalia asked with a smile. If Naruto had missed anything, it was this: having people there for him and to listen to him when he was alone. Well, everything began with time skip. 59 days later, Naruto sighed as he headed towards the missions office. This last month and few days had been a living hell for him. Well, at least today is the last day, Naruto thought as he got his mission: collect groceries for an old lady. "Are you serious?" Naruto asked the man in charge of assigning missions. "Yep. Now get to work," Naruto groaned as he headed to the supermarket. In these last few days, Naruto hadn't changed much. The only thing that had changed was the Kumo symbol stitched to his black beret. Supermarket. Naruto groaned as he pushed the cart into the dairy aisle. "Stupid old lady," Naruto thought as he looked around the supermarket. He saw Yujito and her team helping stock the store and smiled as he waved at them. "Hey Naruto!" Omoi and Karui exclaimed. "Hello, Naruto-kun," Samui and Yujito said, then Death glared at each other. "Hey you guys, having trouble with the mission?" he asked playfully. "This is not cool. The Raikage hasn't let us take any high-profile missions for 2 months." Samui whined. "Yeah, it sucks." Yujito agreed. "Well guys, I have to get back to my mission. I'll catch you guys later," Naruto said as everyone left to get back to their duties. Naruto watched as Yujito headed to a utility dolly packed with cartons of eggs and held in place with black straps. Naruto went back to his shopping, until he heard the sound of a loud crash. He turned to see Yujito standing next to a cart that had been tipped over. All of the eggs on the cart had been either cracked or smashed. "Damn it, demon! You can't do anything!" a woman dressed professionally yelled at Yujito. "You're going to have to pay for those," she yelled, only for Yujito to yell back at her that it wasn't her fault. Naruto looked at the scene and began laughing, turning the attention to him. "And what are you laughing at?" the manager demanded at him. You idiot," he replied, shocking her at the lack of respect. "How dare you?" she began, only to be cut off by Naruto. "Simple really. You claim this is Yujito's cart and that all of those eggs were the ones Yujito was supposed to put on the shelf, right?" Naruto asked. "Of course it is, you ignorant brat," the woman yelled. "Please shut up." The cart Yujito was hauling was an orange one, not black as the one on the floor. Yujito's cart had black straps to hold the eggs in place while this one has no straps. Also, the eggs are falling towards Yujito, not away from her. If he had been carrying them, they would have fallen away from her, not towards her. Naruto finished. "So, unless you want me to file a report to the Raikage that states you were trying to frame a shinobi of the village, I suggest you clean this up and apologize," Naruto said with venom in his tone. The manager forced an apology and left to get something to clean the mess with. "Thank you Naruto-kun," Yujito said with a blush on her face. No problem, Yujito-chan. It's what friends are for, he replied happily. But, how did you know those things? She asked. There are hundreds of things people see, but do not observe. You just have to pay attention to the little things, he said as he went back to his business. Naruto-kun was paying that much attention to me? Yujito mentally stuttered, since she was the Jinchuriki of the Nibi, no one ever paid attention to her. The fact that Naruto did send her through a bit of a loop. She tried to clear the blush from her face as she got back to work. He got all of that from just a look? Definitely the new sexy, Samui thought as she watched the blonde enigma walk away. Chapter 18. Last time, he got all of that from just a look? Definitely the new sexy, Samui thought as she watched the blonde enigma walk away. Now, the next day, Naruto groaned as his alarm clock went off. Why, you cruel bastard! Why did you rise? Naruto mentally complained at the sun. Wait, today's the day, Naruto muttered as he got up, got something to eat, and got dressed. No more D-rank missions for me, Naruto happily muttered. He quickly cleaned up and left his bunker at the base of the mountain. Well, better check in with the Raikage, Naruto said as he headed into the village. Raikage Tower. Naruto smiled as he walked into the office. Mabui-san, may I speak with the old man? Naruto asked the secretary. Yes, Naruto-san. He was actually about to request you, Mabui responded as she motioned towards the door. As soon as Naruto walked in, the entrance was blocked off by 2ANBU and the room was sealed with a soundproofing seal. Naruto quickly unsealed his sword and put it in a reverse grip. Naruto-san, I wonder if you can explain something to me. Naruto turned to see us sitting behind his desk. And what may that be, Raikage-sama? Naruto asked with a hint of venom in his voice. I didn't bother to respond but tossed him a bingo book. Naruto caught it and read the page it was open to. Naruto Romanov, B-rank missing Nin. Wanted for questioning in Konoha due to events that led to the disappearance of the Yandame's firstborn son. Bounty of 250,000 yen. Warning, responsible for overthrowing Gato of Gato shipping. Skill level unknown, approach with extreme caution. Naruto finished under his breath. Well? I asked in a don't you dare lie to me tone of voice. Well, what? Naruto shot back annoyed. Are you responsible for the disappearance of the Yandame's firstborn son? A asked annoyed. No, the Yandame is responsible for the disappearance of his firstborn son, Naruto replied. What do you mean? A asked. Naruto groaned, but sat and told us about the hierarchies in Konoha and how clan heirs are selected and succeeded. The son of a bitch disowned his kid who was unable to use chakra at the time in favor for his youngest son, the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. Naruto finished. So, what happened to the Yandame's first son? I asked, intrigued by this tale. He found people willing to give him a chance and to teach him, but soon those people passed away and left him alone, so he decided to leave the village. Naruto said in a sad tone. And how do you know this? Do you know where the son is? A asked in a serious tone. Yeah, I know where the kid is, but there's no way in hell that I know he will go back to Konoha. Naruto replied defiantly. Well, where is he? Damn it, can't you see that Konoha can declare war on Kumo for this? A asked Naruto in an enraged tone. You're looking at him. Naruto yelled at A and took off his face mask, for once silencing the large Raikage. I'm not going back to that twice-damned village. They forsook me in the place of my younger brother because he had more potential. All I was to them was a broken toy. But now that I fixed myself and did something noticeable, they're hunting me down like I was a nugget of gold. 8 years since they disowned me, and now they want me back since I took down Gato shipping. That's bullshit, Naruto said in an agitated tone. Naruto then took off the insignia on his beret and laid it before the Raikage. By your leave, he said, then walked away. Naruto. No response. Naruto. Still nothing. Naruto. Naruto turned to the Raikage to see him holding the insignia. You are a shinobi of Kumo, and as such I expect you to come back and take back your insignia. He stated. I will not send you back to the village if you do not wish to go. After all, you were disowned, right? The Raikage asked. Yes. Naruto replied in a monotone voice. Then they have no claim over you. Finished. I just needed to make sure that you weren't wanted for anything dangerous, such as assassination or major arson or murder. Now go, fix your beret, and come back in 25 minutes. You and Team Yujito have a very important A-rank mission soon and I need you guys to be sure you can complete it. Naruto nodded as he took the insignia, reattached it to his beret, and left the office. The Raikage was left to his thoughts until Mabui walked in. Something troubling you, Raikage-sama? She asked. Oh, it's just this Naruto case. I mean, I heard from Yujito and her team how he managed to fight off 9 IWA Jounins, but I personally couldn't believe it. Now I hear he took down Gato shipping by himself? I wonder how strong he really is and how much he's hiding from us. I replied. And then there's the Konoha thing. Are they really so pitiful to throw away someone, then want them back the minute they do something that causes a major impact? Finished. Well, you know the first rule to being a shinobi, Raikage-sama. Deception is the best weapon. Mabui remarked as she left the room. 25 minutes later, Naruto knocked on the wooden door of the Raikage office and waited. Come in. A's voice shouted and he quickly made his way inside. Yujito, Samui, Karui, and Omoi were already there waiting for him. Good, now that everyone is present, we may begin. Said as Mabui passed each of them a large file. Naruto opened it and saw a picture of W Mansion seemingly built at the top of a waterfall, literally a few dozen feet separating it from the tip of the waterfall and certain death. Managashi Mansion? Samui asked as she saw the picture. Correct. The daimyo of the Land of Lightning is hosting a meeting of sorts there. Said, then after everyone was paying attention, continued. Recently, a few villages have been having some skirmishes amongst themselves. Usually, this wouldn't be a problem, but they have begun to bring in shinobi from foreign nations to fight in their stead. If Kumo Ninja were to interfere, we could cause an international incident. Finished. The daimyo is hosting peace talks with the warring villages in an effort to resolve these problems without causing a big problem. Mabui continued. Unfortunately, IWA has been at odds with Kumo for a while now. The daimyo believes they may try something during these talks in order to instigate further problems. Finished. Your mission is to go incognito into these talks and take care of any problems. Naruto and the team nodded. Good, you guys have half an hour to gather everything you need and meet up at the gates. From there, you guys are to head to Managashi Mansion and sign in. A ordered. Understood. The team and Naruto replied in unison. Dismissed. Said and the team left through the window. Damn it, use the door. Yelled annoyed. Mabui giggled and left the office to get back to her paperwork. The bunker. Naruto hurriedly walked into the bunker and made his way to the armory. He quickly grabbed a sealing scroll and began grabbing supplies when Tony popped into the screen. Wow, where's the fire? He asked. I have a bodyguard mission soon, and it's going to be a long one in a formal meeting. Naruto replied as he sealed kunai, shuriken, and ammo into the scroll. I might need one of these too, Naruto thought as he put a black box into the scroll. Here's an interesting question, is this supposed to be an undercover mission? Tony asked. Yeah, we're going to be there as backup to the guards. Why? Naruto asked. What are you going to wear? If these are peace talks, everyone is going to be dressed for the occasion. You can't go in looking like a shinobi if you're supposed to be undercover. Tony reasoned. Shit, I forgot about that. And I have nothing to wear. Naruto groaned. Don't worry, if I'm right, Natalia let us put some clothing here in her bunker in case things ever went bad or we needed it. Go to the back room with the lockers and open mine. Tony said. Naruto nodded and headed there. As soon as he saw the locker labeled S. Tony, he opened it. Oh, that's sharp. Naruto said as he inspected the contents. He quickly sealed them into his scroll and made sure his sword and collapsible bow were sealed into his shoulder. I think that's it, Naruto said as he took the scroll and quickly left the bunker, making sure to lock up after himself. Village gates. Yujito groaned as she and her team waited for Naruto in the sweltering summer heat. Damn it, where is he? She demanded. He who? A voice from behind her said. She jumped and turned to see Naruto standing behind her. You idiot! She said. How did you even get out of the village without us noticing? She asked. I live in the outskirts. So, is everyone ready? Naruto asked. Yeah, we were waiting for you. Karui replied in an annoyed tone. Good, let's move out then. With that, the team scattered. Time skip, Managashi Mansion. Naruto groaned as he and his team arrived at the mansion. In all fairness, it hadn't been that far away. It was the fact that being this close to a waterfall gave him a bad feeling. He shook off his thoughts as he arrived at the check-in desk. Hello, how may I help you? Asked a skinny man behind the counter. The daimyo is expecting us. Naruto said. The man nodded and walked to the back. A few minutes later, he came back with a smile on his face. The daimyo will see you now. The man said and escorted the team to the back office to see the daimyo. Daimyo office. Daimyo-sama, the team from Kumo here to see you. The man spoke into a room. Good, send them in. A voice replied. Naruto and his team stepped into a richly decorated room with a large oak hello, welcome to Managashi Mansion. I am the daimyo of the Land of Lightning, my name is Hideko. A man of approximately 45 years of age said as he came out from behind the desk. He was dressed in the traditional daimyo robes. As he stepped out into the field of vision, everyone bowed except Naruto. Before anyone could tell Naruto to bow, the daimyo stood before him. Why do you not bow before me? He asked. I bow for no man. I only hold allegiance to myself. Naruto replied, making the old man smile. I like you, kid. The man said, then turned, onto business, please rise. He said to the rest of the ninja. Have you been debriefed on the situation? The daimyo asked, getting nods in response from the ninja in his presence. Good, there will be a party before the peace talks. You will be there and, in the talks, to make sure nothing happens. Attire will be provided if you do know already have something appropriate, and do dress classy. This is an important occasion. Hideko finished. The same lanky man then walked back into the office. Himeji will show you to your rooms to prepare. The party begins at 7 o'clock sharp. Hideko stated. They were all then escorted to separate rooms to get ready. Naruto walked into his room and saw a man's kimono laid out on the table. Yeah, right. He thought as he stripped down and went into the shower. The party was in a few hours. Chapter 19. Last time. Yeah, right. He thought as he stripped down and went into the shower. The party was in a few hours. Now, Naruto smirked as he put his weapon holster over his undershirt and topped off his appearance with the jacket of the suit. I look good, he thought to himself with a cocky grin as he looked at himself in the mirror. He was wearing Italian leather black shoes, black dress pants, a white button-up shirt, the gun holster over it, the jacket, and a black tie. I got to give it to Tony, he definitely knew about style and comfort, Naruto muttered as he stretched in the suit. Despite its tight-looking fit, it was actually quite roomy, probably for him to wear with his Iron Man suit. Naruto theorized as he stepped out of the door. I wonder what everyone else is wearing. Naruto mused as he made his way to the ballroom for the party. Ah, we've been expecting you. Your friends are already inside. Himeji said to Naruto as he stood at the entrance. Show time. Naruto muttered as he opened the doors. Ballroom, where is that idiot? Karui demanded in an angry voice. She was dressed in an elegant red kimono. I have no idea. Yujito muttered. She was in a violet strapless dress that showed off her figure nicely and showed a bit of leg without making it seem trashy. He should be here soon. Samui said. She was dressed in a simple baby blue yukata that complemented her eye color and was tied in the back by an obi. Speak of the devil. Omoi muttered as he pointed to the entrance. He was wearing a silver kimono with a dragon insignia. The whole team looked up to see Naruto standing there in an odd choice of fashion for a man, but it seemed to suit him. Samui whistled quietly and Yujito stared on as he arrived. Well, what do you guys think? Naruto asked as he approached the team. Not bad, Blondie. Karui started. Where did you get that? There's a draft in this kimono. Omoi complained. Looking good, Naruto-kun, Samui said as she gave him a small kiss on the cheek. Yujito, however, was in her own little world, muttering tight and sexy under her breath. I think we've lost her. Karui said with a cheeky grin as she waved her hand in Yujito's face. Hello? She asked. No, not yet. Yujito muttered before she snapped out of it. Oh, Naruto-kun. You're looking, Yujito stuttered. Fine? Karui suggested. Sexy? Samui threw in with a slight lick of her upper lip. You clean up well. Yujito finally got out, and then glared at her two friends for their suggestions. Thanks, you look pretty good yourself. Naruto replied with a wink, making Yujito blush even harder and Samui fume. On to business. Naruto stated. Any of you guys armed? Naruto asked. I have my blade and a few kunai sealed with me. Karui said as she revealed a small sealing tattoo on her palm. I've got my blade, ninja wire, and a few explosion tags. Omoi said as he showed his sealing tattoo. All I have is my blade. Samui muttered. I just have a few kunai and shuriken. Yujito said. Alright, well everybody has something. Omoi, do not use those explosive tags unless necessary, okay? Naruto said as he unsealed his other handgun and gave it to Samui. What am I supposed to do with this? She asked as she held it. Just point and pull the trigger. This is the safety. Make sure it is off whenever you fire a bullet, and be ready for the recoil, Naruto stated as he showed her the mechanics of the weapon. And you, Yugi-chan. He said, making said girl blush as he walked to a secluded area and unsealed his collapsible bow. You are in charge of this. It's easy to assemble. He stated as he flicked the arm holding it and it assembled into the full bow. Just channel a bit of chakra into the tip of your fingers and rest it here. Naruto said as he placed his finger and pulled back as if he was pulling an arrow. Suddenly, an arrow unsealed itself and landed safely seated in the bow. Aim, and fire. Naruto finished with a smile. Yujito nodded, took the bow, and sealed it into her palm. She and Naruto rejoined the rest of the team only to see them wearing huge grins. What's so funny? Naruto asked. Oh, nothing, just wondering if Yujito rocked your world. Karui said in a playful tone. Yujito blushed and looked down, only to feel Naruto wrap his arms around her as he stood behind her. As a matter of fact, she did. Now, would my lady care to dance? Naruto asked a blushing Yujito. She nodded and he took her hand and led her to the dance floor. Naruto smiled as he saw Omoi ask Karui to dance. Even though they were cousins, it would still be helpful to scope the place out. He placed his hand at Yujito's hip and took her other hand into his own as a slow song began playing. Yujito smiled as she nuzzled herself into Naruto's chest. As a Jinchuriki and social pariah, all she had ever wanted was a bit of attention and a warm hug. Here she was getting it from the least expected source, Naruto. The guy had literally popped out of nowhere and saved her, and now here she was dancing with him. It seemed like a fairy tale or a dream to her. Either way, I don't want to wake up, Yujito thought as she took a deep whiff of his scent. Naruto smiled as he saw the relaxed look on Yujito's face. I'm glad you're enjoying the dance, Yujito-chan, but the song ended 10 minutes ago, Naruto whispered in her ear. Yujito quickly got off his chest and led him back to the table. Anyone find anything of interest? Naruto asked. Nothing. Karui and Omoi reported as they took a seat. What about you, Naruto-kun? Samui asked as she took a sip from her drink. I think I might be onto something, but I need a second look," he said as he extended his hand towards the sitting Samui. Samui blushed and put her hand in his and was led to the dance floor. He wrapped his arm around her waist and took her other hand into his, then began dancing to the song. For Samui, this experience was absolutely terrifying. It was no secret she thought highly of Naruto, it was a big secret that she liked him, and it was terrifying to be this close to her crush. "Hey, relax. I'm not going to hurt you," Naruto whispered into her ear, making her blush from the closeness. She looked up to see his deep blue eyes staring into her baby blue ones. He kissed the tip of her nose and winked, then went back to look around. "What do you see?" she asked. "Everything," Naruto replied as he meticulously inspected everyone in the room. As soon as the song was over, Naruto wrapped an arm around Samui and led her back to the table. As he took a seat, he began. "There are 9 enemy ninja here, Jounin level or better judging by their level of stealth. They are all dressed as waiters," Naruto stated. "How can you tell?" Samui asked Naruto as she watched him, intrigued by his findings. "Simple, 9 of the waiters here have slight cuts on their fingers. Nothing big, but enough to show they have been handling sharp weapons. Their shoes are dirty with a clay mixture, probably from carting them from IWA to here," Naruto began. "The undersides of their nails are dirty, showing they are either new or stupid. No way the daimyo would have that kind of service at a party of this importance. And lastly, all of them have a tan line that covers their entire foreheads and ends at the eyes, obviously the work of a forehead protector," Naruto finished. Everyone at the table was looking at his with wide eyes. "You know, I get the feeling this is going to be an everyday thing with you," Omoi stated as he took a sip of his drink. "Maybe," Naruto said with a grin. Before anyone could counter his statement, a large yell was heard. "So, it begins," he muttered as he stood. There were 2 waiters armed at every door preventing anyone from leaving. Before anyone could move, the main door swung open to reveal a man standing at 6 feet 9 inches, with tan brown skin and black hair. His features seemed to be set in stone and he was wearing the traditional wear for a jounin from IWA. "And, no way, that's the golem," Omoi muttered. "The golem?" Naruto asked quietly. "He's one of the best IWA has to offer. Complete mastery over earth element, bloodline that hardens his skin to the strength of steel, and an unmatched assassination record. They gave him his name because he likes to choke his victims to death if there's only one, like an old myth from IWA." Omoi muttered as the pillar of earth rose under the man's feet, elevating him above the room. "Village leaders and other important figures of IWA, I hope you're comfortable where you are seated. Rest assured, it will be your grave." The man finished with an evil grin, terrifying everyone as the IWA Nins erected small earth walls at every entrance. "I'm going to cause a distraction, Yubi-chan, Samui-chan, Karui, and Omoi, memorize where your targets are standing. As soon as I give the signal, fire a volley of weapons at them," Naruto whispered. "Wait, what's the signal?" Samui asked as Naruto crawled towards an empty table. "You'll know," Naruto muttered. "Now that the entrances are sealed off, we can." The golem began, only to be cut off by the sound of loud laughing. He turned to see a Naruto sitting at a table alone with a bottle of gin, and apparently drunk off his ass. An IWA Nin was about to move in to kill him, but was stopped by the golem. "Wait, bring him here," the golem stated. 2 Nins went over to Naruto and dragged him towards the entrance, then dropped him to his knees. "What do you find so funny, peasant?" the golem demanded. Naruto kept laughing and crawled his way to the wall by the entrance, using it to support himself. With a smile, Naruto took another swig from the bottle of gin in his hand. "You are," he stated as he walked towards the golem, stumbling and using the wall to support himself. "What did you do, take a couple of hits from a tank of helium before you got here?" Naruto demanded, shocking everyone. The men standing guard at the 3 separate entrances remained at their posts, while the remaining 3 cornered Naruto against the wall. Everyone tensely watched as Naruto stood near the frame of the door. "Ha ha 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 ha." The golem began to laugh maniacally. "You're funny kid," the golem said to Naruto. "That can get you killed." The golem said and motioned for his fellow jounin to take care of Naruto. Before they got anywhere near him, Naruto hit the lights, letting complete darkness swallow the room except for what little light could filter from the window. In those moments, a loud commotion was heard. The sound of gunshots ripped through the room, followed by the sound of metal and the sound of an occasional arrow being launched. Naruto quickly unsealed his sword and slashed at one of the jounin's legs, making him fall to the floor in pain. He then kicked out the other nin's feet out from under him and stabbed downward, piercing the man's chest and killing him instantly. For the last one, Naruto delivered a heel kick to his chest, making his slam against the wall and stabbed his sword into the nin's head, killing him instantly. By the time Naruto was done with his 3 charges, the golem managed to make it to the light switch. As light flooded the room, a gruesome sight met the guests. The 2 IWA ninjas stationed at every entrance were slaughtered. 2 of them were riddled with kunai and shuriken, another 2 were filled with holes and had slash marks at their throats, and the last 2 had arrows piercing their torsos. What the hell happened? The golem demanded as he looked at his dead comrades. He turned to where Naruto was to see the blonde with a blade in his hand and his comrades on the floor. You! He yelled. Oh, not just me. Naruto said as Samui stepped out from behind an overturned table with the gun trained on Golem. There's 2. He demanded. And me. A voice from above said. Golem looked up to see Yujido balanced on the chandelier aiming the bow directly at him. And us. Omoi said as he and Karui stepped out, Omoi holding shuriken in his hand and Karui holding 2 kunai in reverse grip ready to attack. Ha 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 ha. You think you can take me down? Golem demanded as he ripped off his shirt and activated his bloodline. His skin turned a gray color and hardened as he stared at the team defiantly. The only way you guys will leave here is in body bags. The golem exclaimed as he charged at them. Chapter 20. /N, I own nothing, not the references to Sherlock or anything. Last time, the only way you guys will leave here is in body bags. The golem exclaimed as he charged at them. Now, Naruto watched as the giant man charged towards them. Not good. Naruto thought as he unsealed a few shuriken and let them fly, signaling the beginning of the attack. Yujido let loose 2 arrows at the golem's chest, only for them to break without penetrating skin. Omoi provided cover for Karui as she charged at the golem. She jumped and performed a spinning kick to his temple, then followed it with a backward stab to the golem's temple. Unfortunately, as soon as the kunai made contact with the golem's head, it shattered. The golem backhanded her hard, sending her flying into the wall. Yujido growled and charged in, hands ablaze with a blue flame. Naruto quickly flicked his sword clean and watched as Yujido slashed at the golem. Interesting. Naruto thought as he looked to Samui. I'm moving in, cover me, and when you see an opening, take it. Samui nodded and watched as Naruto charged. Yujido ducked under a strike to her head and launched a pal strike to the golem's midsection. Nothing. Yujido thought as she jumped away from golem's reach. As soon as she got away, Naruto jumped in and punched the golem in the face. The golem stumbled slightly, but retaliated with a kick to Naruto's head. Naruto managed to catch the kick and sent a kick of his own to the golem's supporting leg. As soon as the golem fell, Naruto launched a kick to his flank again. The golem winced as Naruto's steel-toed boots slammed into his side. Naruto let go of the golem's foot and stabbed his sword to the golem's chest, only for it to scrape the surface. Before Naruto could do anything else, a pair of hands wrapped around his throat. Naruto looked to see the golem standing over him, choking him slowly. Shit! How the hell is he still able to put weight on that leg? Naruto thought as he tried to hold it in, but was then kneed in the stomach by the golem's leg. Oxygen, running, oh. Naruto groaned as the room started to darken, only to suddenly be dropped on the floor. He looked to see Samui standing a few feet away from them with her left foot stepped out and rock spikes protruding from the floor. Are you okay? Yujido asked Naruto as she helped him stand up. I'm fine. Naruto responded with a hoarse voice as he watched Omoi and Karui hold off the golem. Any plans? Samui asked in a hopeful voice as she looked at the golem unthinking. Naruto said as he looked around the room. There's nothing here that can help stop him. We need some way to get him to lower his guard, but how? Naruto wondered as he looked at the golem. Enjoys chalking victims if it's one-on-one, a voice rung in his head. That's it, Naruto said as he looked at Samui and Yujito. Next time he gets a hit in, don't get up. I have a plan. The two kunoichis hesitantly nodded and charged towards the golem while Naruto went to check on Karui and Omoi. He kneeled to his down teammates and checked to see if there was a pulse. Good, they're still alive, Naruto thought as he shook them awake. WH. What happened? Karui asked as she tried to get up, only to be pushed down. Stay down, you and Omoi, Naruto said as he got up and charged towards Golem, who was now being overpowered by the two kunoichis. Golem grabbed Samui's sword as she slashed at his midsection and broke it in two. Before she could react, he grabbed her by her waist and threw her towards wall. Naruto quickly ran towards the impact point and caught Samui, then set her down. He quickly checked for a pulse and after making sure she was alright, he looked back over to the fight. Yujito was doing well in holding off the golem, but it looked like she was slowing down. As soon as her defense began falling, Golem seized the opportunity to slam his heavy hand against her head, knocking her out cold. The golem walked toward her downed body with an evil grin, only to be tackled away. The golem tried to retaliate, only to feel the repetitive pounding of fists on his face. He opened his eyes to see Naruto standing over him, delivering repeated blows to his head. The golem growled and wrapped his hands around Naruto's throat, squeezing tightly. You thought you and your pathetic team could take me out? You're nothing compared to me, he yelled maniacally as he continued crushing Naruto's windpipe. I'm going to savor this, the golem said as he let his bloodline recede. Naruto smirked as he planted his feet on Golem's chest and added pressure, trying to get free. Not going to work, brat, Golem said. Not supposed to, Naruto grasped out as he reached for his ankle and pulled his revolver out. He aimed it at the golem's heart and fired off 3 rounds, piercing the skin. Naruto watched as the golem let go of him and fell to the ground, grasping at his heart. Naruto picked up his sword and aimed it at the golem's neck. You got too cocky, and you let your guard down. That was your first and last mistake, Naruto said as he placed the blade at Golem's neck. Any last words? He asked, making the golem laugh. Well, this was a no failure allowed mission, Golem said to Naruto as he ripped his pants leg to show a cast of made of explosive tags. Naruto's eyes widened as he saw it and he slashed the golem's throat, but was too late. Golem ripped the top of an explosive tag and it began fizzling. Shit, this whole mansion is supported by nothing more than a few pillars. If those things get the impact of the explosion, this whole place goes over the falls, Naruto thought as he lifted the golem's body. We have to get this out of here, quick, he yelled as Team Yujito nodded. Before he could move an inch, Yujito appeared beside him. She was covered in a cloak of purple chakra and had a single tail flowing behind her. Give him to me, I can get him to the window in a second flat, Yujito yelled. Naruto quickly tossed Golem on her shoulders and watched her run towards the window that was facing the edge of the waterfall. Wait, what's she doing? She's not going to be able to slow down at the speed she's going, Naruto thought as he watched Yujito jump through the window with the body and both of them fell over the falls. No! Naruto yelled as he made a dash towards the window. He took a black box out of his coat pocket and aimed it at the wall near the window. A small arrow-like point attached to a Teflon cable shot into the wall and burrowed itself into the wall. Naruto quickly attached the box to his pants and jumped out the window, following after Yujito. With Yujito, Yujito closed her eyes and adjusted herself to a position that would slow down the freefall. Kitten, you know that not even my healing factor will be able to save you from the explosion and the impact, right? An internal voice asked her. Yeah, I know Nibby. But as long as everyone is okay, she replied. Especially your Naruto-kun, right? Nibby asked playfully. Yujito blushed internally and yelled at Nibby. It's not like that, Nibby. It's just that. Yujito began, only to be cut off by the warm feeling of 2 arms wrapping around her. Naruto POV. Naruto groaned as he shifted his body into a nose-diving position. Yujito was a few feet in front of him, but he could quite reach her. The roaring water rushing beside him as he fell and the feeling of the imminent explosion didn't help either. Almost there, almost there. Naruto internally yelled as he managed to latch onto Yujito's waist. He quickly clicked a button on the black box and the wire stopped, bringing a sudden stop to his fall. Yujito turned to see Naruto falling with her, holding her close to him despite the demonic chakra cloak surrounding her burning his skin. As soon as Naruto got a hold of her, the exploding tags on Golem's leg went off, creating a huge explosion that propelled them upwards. She held Naruto closely through the explosion, not wanting to die or for him to die. "It isn't like what, kitten?" the Nibby asked in a playful tone. "Oh, give it a rest, Nibby," Yujito thought as his demonic cloak receded and she fainted in Naruto's arms. Naruto smiled and kissed Yujito's forehead as the Teflon cable began retracting and lifted him back towards the mansion. With the rest of the team, Samly and the rest of the team watched worriedly as the Teflon cable began to retract. "Please be alright," Samly thought with a worried look on her face. Every guest from the party looked towards the window in hopes of seeing their blonde heroes in relatively safe conditions. A blonde head of hair appeared as Naruto lifted himself up the window frame. He pushed himself forwards and fell to the floor, landing on his own face. "Ow!" Naruto muttered as the rest of his team helped him stand up. Naruto looked like hell. He had bright red handprints around his neck, he was completely drenched in water, and his suit jacket looked like he had hugged a furnace. His skin was slightly pink from the yuki it was exposed to due to Yujito's chakra cloak. "You guys stay here and make sure the daimyo and his guests stay safe," Naruto said as he began to head out the door. "Where are you going?" the daimyo asked Naruto. "I need a vacation," he replied as he left the ballroom. Time skip, 2 days later. The rest of the negotiations had gone off without a hitch, despite the fact that the people negotiating were at war. The warring villages had reached a compromise of land division and all had been settled. That same day Naruto and Team Yujito had been summoned to the office of the daimyo of the Land of Lightning. Daimyo office. Samui, Karui, Omoi, and Yujito were kneeling in the office of the daimyo while Naruto took a seat on one of the chairs by his desk. "I would like to formally thank you for all you have done for the Land of Lightning. Without your assistance in taking care of the golem and his henchmen, the land would have surely fallen to civil war." The daimyo began as he headed towards a trunk sitting on his desk. "I cannot thank you enough for preventing a major incident. So as a token on appreciation, I have gotten each of you a special item from the armory," the daimyo said with a smile on his face. He pulled out a pair of twin daggers and handed them to Karui. "Those daggers have special runes carved into them so they will never dull or break, and to conduct chakra through them with relative ease. Take good care of them," the daimyo told the redhead with a smile. Said girl bowed her head and muttered a quick thank you. He then headed to the trunk and got out a standard shuriken pack for Omoi. These shuriken are special. Not only do they have special runes so they never dull or break, but they also have many storage runes that can be charged with elemental chakra, the daimyo said, making Omoi's eyes widen. The case also has a seal that when a bit of chakra is pumped into it, it summons the kunai back into it. "Now on to you, Samui," the daimyo said as he retrieved a beautiful jet black sword with a dragon design on the hilt. This sword is made of a special metal that can conduct chakra easily. The hilt is designed for you to be able to store chakra there and draw on it at will. The daimyo finished as he handed the busty blonde the sword. "And now you, Yujito-san. Your weapons were a bit difficult to find, but I think you'll like them," the man said as he handed Yujito a pair of what looked like cat claws. "Those claws can conduct your chakra easily and can even be used to handle enemy chakra. Be careful with these, they are powerful weapons," the daimyo said, making Yujito nod and mutter a quick thank you. "And now you, Naruto-san. I do hope I have found something fitting your tastes," the man said as he handed Naruto a scroll. "What's this?" Naruto asked. "It's a summoning contract with the Bat Clan. You will of course have to pass their test, but if you succeed you will truly be a force to be reckoned with," the daimyo said with a hint of pride. "Thanks Hideko-san. I appreciate this," Naruto said and shook the man's hand. "Think nothing of it. And I contacted your Kage. Payment for the defeat of the golem will be awaiting you at your village," the daimyo finished. Naruto nodded and did a quick bow. "By your leave?" Naruto asked. "Dismissed." the daimyo said with a smile. I have a feeling that team is going to go very far. Very far indeed, the daimyo thought as he took a seat and drank a cup of tea. Chapter 21. A/N. Don't know money systems, so here 1 yen is $1. Last time. I have a feeling that team is going to go very far. Very far indeed, the daimyo thought as he took a seat and drank a cup of tea. Now, Kumo Reikage office. Naruto smirked as he stepped into A's office and took a seat on a chair. The rest of the team came in after him and bowed. A tick mark grew on A's forehead at the blonde's obvious lack of respect, but he ignored it. Report, he stated. Samui began. The party began without a hitch, but she began, only to hear a cough from behind her. Naruto found out that 9 of the waiters were indeed IWA Nins in disguise. Then, the golem came into it and sealed the door. Naruto provided a distraction for us to get rid of the jounin. Samui finished. After the 9 jounins went down, the golem moved in to attack. Karui began, only to get cut off by Omoi. We got our collective assess handed to us, and after a quickly formulated plan, Naruto and Yujito took him down. At the last minute, Omoi was then but off by Yujito. I accessed my chakra and activated my cloak. The golem had a cast of explosive tags on his leg and I tackled him out the wall and straight down the fall. Yujito said as she rubbed the back of her head. Well, you're still here. The blast from the suicide cast and the impact from the fall should have killed you. Said. No one wanted to say anything, so he turned to Naruto. Well, you're the only one who hasn't said a word. He said as he turned to Naruto. I went after her. Naruto simply stated. What do you mean? That was a 200-foot fall. How did you go after her? A asked seriously. I launched a Teflon cable into the wall, strapped it to my pants, and jumped out the window after her. I managed to grab her by her waist and stop the cable while we were still a good distance up, so we managed to escape the worst of the blast. Naruto replied. You did what? A said as he slammed his hand onto the table. I went after her. Is that a problem? Naruto asked. You endangered your own life for her. Why? I asked curiously, wondering why he was willing to risk his life for Yujito. The girl had it rough as the Jinchuriki of the Nibi. She hadn't been shown much kindness until she was adopted into the Ni family at the age of 10, but by then the damage was done. Yujito was always wary of people she didn't know, so I was genuinely curious about the boy's intentions. No man left behind, no matter what. Naruto stated firmly. That's the only rule I have for my team. The mission doesn't matter, nor do the objectives, if even one man falls. Always look after those that look up to you. If even one of us doesn't make it back, then the mission is a failure. Naruto replied as he stood up straight on his seat. All right, brat. You've shown you have skills, the ability to lead and follow, and loyalty. For that, I officially name you as the captain of Team Yujito. Stated, shocking everyone. Everyone was about to retaliate, but were cut off when Naruto spoke. I accept. Under one condition. Yujito is to be my co-captain. While my plans are usually good, they are better when I have input from a third person. Naruto demanded, making Yujito smile. Fine. You and Yujito are co-captains for Team Yujito. Here. Said as he handed Naruto a check. What's this? Naruto asked as he looked at the check, then his jaw fell. That's the bounty golem had on his head. Said, chuckling at the blonde's reaction. But that's 50 million yen. Naruto replied. He was wanted in a lot of places. Replied simply, pissing Naruto off. Fine, but this isn't just for me. I want 5 checks, each made out to one of the following: Samui, Yujito, Omoi, Karui, and myself. It was a team effort. Naruto said. I nodded and took the check, then began writing out the other checks. Naruto-san, you really don't have to do this. Samui said behind him. Of course, I do. No man is an island, and without you guys the plan wouldn't have worked. Besides, we're a team. Naruto replied as he took the newly written checks from the Reikage and handed them to his team. Thanks! Omoi, Samui, and Karui shouted. Thank you, Naruto-kun. Yujito said in a small voice. No one had ever acknowledged that the demon had ever done something right, and now here she was being treated fairly by a boy. No, a man she had met a few months ago. To think that he would be so kind and fair to everyone, it made her feel warm inside. Oh, is it true love among blondes? The Nibby asked her in a teasing tone. Yujito blushed fiercely and looked down. Would you for once in your life shut up? She demanded to the demon cat. Well, am I wrong? He makes you feel safe, he worries for you, he helps you, he's not a greedy moron like the rest of the humans, and he acknowledges you as a person, not an object. Nibby shot back, but before Yujito could reply, she was once again cut off by the Nibby. Think about that warmth you felt when he wrapped his arms around you at the party. Think about the relief you felt when you were caught in the middle of the fall. The warmth explosive feeling you felt when you looked up to see him holding you, knowing he risked his life for yours and he held on, despite the fact that my demonic chakra was burning his skin. Nibby finished, leaving Yujito fishing for words. But. Deny it all you want, kitten, but you love him. It's a fact, Nibby said as she cut off their contact, hoping the girl could see what's been standing before her. Yujito looked up to see Naruto talking to the rest of the team excitedly about a night on the town. As soon as she looked up, he waved her over with a smile plastered across his face. Yugi-chan, come on, Naruto said as the blonde girl walked towards the rest of her team. Maybe, just maybe. Yujito mused as she joined the team. What's going on? She asked happily. Well, we're all going out later to celebrate a successful A-rank mission. You in? Karui asked excitedly. Yujito smiled and nodded, then turned to Naruto. Pick me up at 7 p.m. And don't be late, she finished as she sauntered out of the rakeage office. She had to get ready. Time skip, Yujito's apartment. Naruto groaned as he knocked on Yujito's door. He was dressed in a pair of black jeans, a black t-shirt, and a pair of black Converse shoes. Yeah, right. Dress to impress, Naruto muttered as he remembered Tony's words. Overkill is underrated my ass. Yujito opened the door to find a nervous-looking Naruto standing at her doorstep. Well, you clean up pretty well. Come on in, I'm almost ready, she said as she headed to the bathroom. Naruto blinked, but followed after her. I won't be long, she said as she stepped into the bathroom. Great, now what am I supposed to do? Naruto asked as he took a seat on the couch in the living room. He sat there for 20 minutes waiting for Yujito to step out of the bathroom. But when she did, he could tell the time was well invested. What do you think? She asked as she came out in a pair of jeans that seemed to be painted on and a purple top that showed a bit of belly. Her hair was tied into a ponytail and she topped it off with a pair of black heels with a purple lining. Naruto turned and his jaw dropped. Glad you approve. Yujito cut him off. She then sat beside him and took his hand into hers. Naruto-kun, there's something I want to tell you, Yujito said as she looked down. You know you can tell me anything, Yugi-chan, Naruto said with a smile. Well, that's the thing. This is big. It's a main reason why my Jounin-sensei left me behind the day you met me. It's the reason why my friend circles are so limited, Yujito said as her voice dropped and she looked down. You can tell me anything, Yugi-chan, Naruto reaffirmed with a squeeze of her hand. Well, I was about 3 when the great demon, the Nibby no Bakaniko, attacked the village. At the time, there were few seal masters in Kumo. Everyone knew the obvious solution, seal the beast and use it as a weapon, but no one knew what to seal it into. The beast was getting closer to the Raikage Tower and was ravaging the outskirts, so they chose a child at random. That child was I, Yujito said, fighting back a sob. At first, my family was happy that I was fulfilling such an honor, but... Yujito stopped as the bitter memories rose. Naruto wrapped his arms around her and pulled her close. Shoo! What happened? It's alright, I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to listen, Naruto reassured. After a while, the villagers began treating my family badly. Like it was cursed. And when my family realized it was because of me, they became a social pariah. They were disgusted with me. They put me up for adoption and left Kumo. That was the last I saw of my parents. Yujito said as her eyes watered. From there things got worse. Yujito said as she curled up into a ball. The orphanage kicked me out a week after they figured out who I was. From there, I was completely ignored by everyone. All they saw was the demon that ravaged the village so long ago and not the little girl crying and begging for attention. Yujito stopped to wipe away a tear. That's when I was found by the third Reikage. He seemed nice at the time. He gave me a place to stay and food. He was my father, and for a time I was happy, but it couldn't last. Yujito stated with a bitter smile. He put me through a strict training program. To him, I was nothing more than a weapon. It wasn't until I turned 10 that the third was overthrown and replaced by A. He helped integrate me back to society and gave me a place in the Ni family. But still, I just couldn't trust people. Not again. The risk was too great. Yujito then looked to Naruto with tears running down her face. Then you came along. She trailed off. Me? Naruto asked. Yes, you. You, the one person who has ever treated me like a person without knowing me. You're kind, funny, sweet, you risked your life for mine, you pulled my ass out of the fire, and I want to trust you, but I just couldn't. Not until I told you this. If you don't feel the same, please, don't toy with me or try to use me. Just leave. Yujito said as she turned away from the open door. She heard Naruto get up and the door slam shut. That broke the dam and the waterworks began. I can't believe I thought he was different. Yujito thought. The Nibi for once stayed quiet, but was shocked when a familiar voice spoke. You're an idiot. She turned to see Naruto sitting right beside her. But you left? Nope, still here. Naruto cut her off. Now, I may not be on the level of the seal masters of Kumo, but I know a thing or two. I use seals to store thousands of weapons. Do you honestly think I'm not going to be able to tell the difference between you and the seal? Naruto asked with a deathly serious face. Boo. But, how can you trust me after this? How? She asked. You want to know how much I trust you and how sure I am that you aren't the demon people claim you are? Naruto asked, catching her attention. He unsealed his sword and placed it in front of her. He unsealed 5 kunai and placed them before her. He took a small piece of cloth and used it as a blindfold. I am willing to trust you with my life. Do whatever you will, I won't stop you, Naruto said and waited. Yujito traced the sword in front of her, then looked up at him. He really does care about me, he trusts me. Yujito thought as she looked at the blindfolded blonde before her. She leaned over to him and kissed his lips softly, her own savoring the taste and texture of his. Naruto responded by wrapping his arms around her waist and pulling her closer. Chapter 22. Last time, Naruto responded by wrapping his arms around her waist and pulling her closer. Now, as soon as the kiss began, it was over. Yujito pushed herself to pull away and took off Naruto's blindfold, smiling at his expression. She leaned close to him and whispered. I like you. A lot. And I don't know if you feel the same about me. Don't answer me, but know that I will work to get you. When I want something, I go after it. And you're someone I want by my side. She gave him a small kiss on his cheek and pulled back, leaving a dazed and confused Naruto. Well, we better get going, don't want everyone waiting for us. Yujito said as she headed for the door. Why, yeah. Naruto said as he walked after her. Why does my life have to be so complicated? Naruto mentally demanded as he followed Yujito to the restaurant. She was enjoying herself if the sway in her step was anything to go by. And what a view! Naruto whispered. Red Lightning Restaurant. Naruto smiled as he and Yujito headed towards the rest of the team, who looked to be patiently waiting. Hey guys! Yujito said as she waved them over. Karui was in a pair of jeans and a brown top that complemented her eyes and hair. Omoi was in a pair of jeans and a polo, and Samui was breathtaking. She was wearing a pair of jeans that looked like they were painted on and a baby blue blouse that seemed to hug her generous bust. As Yujito greeted Karui and Omoi, Naruto walked over to Samui. "Hey, Samui-chan. You look. Wow." Naruto said as he stumbled over his words. Samui blushed and nodded. "Thank you, Naruto-kun. I don't usually go out, but I figured this was a good exception," Samui said with a smile. "Hey guys, come on. The tables are ready." Karui interrupted them and they all headed inside. The restaurant as a whole was well decorated with a rich red color as its central theme. Naruto and the rest of the group were escorted to an empty table. "What can I get you?" the waiter asked in an exasperated voice. Naruto glared at the man and looked through his menu. "I'll have a medium rare steak with fries and broccoli," Naruto said, and the waiter wrote his order down. "I'll have the chicken Alfredo," Samui said. "Shrimp Alfredo," Yujito said in agreement. "Firecracker shrimp," Karui said. "I'll just have the grilled chicken," Omoi said with a sigh. "Coming right up," the waiter said as he left. "So, what's been going on with you guys?" Naruto asked as a blonde waitress came by and took their drink orders. "Just water, please," Naruto said with a smile. "I'll have a Bloody Mary. I haven't been up to much except practicing my kenjutsu." "What about you guys?" Karui said. "I'll just have a beer." "Same here, but have you guys heard about the new teacher we're supposed to be getting?" Yujito asked. "A beer is cool." "This is news to me, who is it?" Samui asked. "I don't know, the Raikage sent a messenger to tell me this afternoon." "I'll just have a beer," Omoi said. "We're supposed to meet him tomorrow." Omoi finished. "Well, the night is ours. So, let's have some fun after this," Yujito said happily as their drinks arrived. Everyone smiled and raised their drinks to her toast as the food arrived. "This night has a lot of potential," Naruto thought as he looked at his team happily eating and talking amongst themselves. One dinner and several alcoholic drinks later, Naruto smiled as he dragged his team out of the restaurant. "I should have seen this coming," Naruto thought as he paid for the meal and drinks. He then walked out into the street to see his team gone. "Hey, come on Naruto. We're headed to a club," Yujito said as she grabbed him by the arm and dragged him to the On the Rocks Club. On the Rocks Club, the music was thumping loudly against the speakers of the club where Naruto and Yujito just entered. Karui and Omoi were already on the dance floor and Samui was sitting at the bar. "Come on," Yujito said as she pulled him towards the dance floor. "I'm going to get a drink first, okay?" Naruto said as he headed to the bar. Yujito nodded and headed to the dance floor, leaving Naruto at the bar. He headed to the bartender and sat in front of him. What did Tony say? Naruto wondered as he tried to remember his mentor's words. "What can I get you, pal?" the gruff bartender asked. "Scotch, on the rocks," Naruto said as he pulled out his wallet. The bartender came over to him with the bottle and poured his drink. Before Naruto could pay him, the man spoke. "Don't worry, buddy, the blonde at the bar paid for it," the man said and pointed to Samui, who was heading over to Naruto. He took a quick sip and motioned to the seat next to him. "Thanks for the drink," Naruto said with a smile. "Thanks for dinner," she quipped back. He smiled and took another sip. "Not going to join the others?" Naruto asked Samui. "I'm not much of a party girl. Since I was little, my parents trained me in the ninja arts. I'm not exactly sure how to act," Samui admitted with a small blush. "So I was thinking it would be cool if we use this time to talk," she said. Naruto took a quick glance at Yujito dancing with another guy and a small part of him grew jealous at the sight. "Why, yeah, sure," Naruto said as he refocused his attention to Samui. However, he was a little shocked when he turned to see Samui's face right in front of his own. "So, I'm guessing she told you about her condition?" Samui asked. "And a lot more," Naruto muttered as Samui took his hands into her own. So, I'm guessing she also told you she likes you? Samui asked with a Cheshire cat grin. More like showed me. Naruto muttered as he asked for another scotch. Oh, how did she do that, like this? Samui asked. Naruto turned but was greeted by Samui's lips attaching to his own. His mind momentarily shut down by the action. WH. What the hell is happening? Naruto asked as Samui pulled away. What just happened? Naruto asked in a dazed voice. I just declared war. I like you, Naruto, a lot, and I am not going to lose you, period. I know what I want and I want you. Samui said as she ordered another drink and sauntered off. FCK my life. Naruto thought as he turned back to the bartender. You okay, kid? The bartender asked. Just keep 'em coming. Naruto said as he finished his scotch. The next day, Naruto groaned as he felt the warm rays of the sun hit his face. Ow, damn you Suen! Wait, my bunkers is at the base of a mountain. How the hell can sunlight be getting in? And what the hell happened last night? Naruto thought as he cracked an eye open slowly. Baby blue decor can go either way. Room is clean, and everything is neatly organized. Leaning towards a woman's bedroom? Weapon cache indicates kunoichi. What else? Naruto thought as he continued to scan the room. He saw a few stuffed animals and some miscellaneous items. Definitely a woman, but who? Naruto wondered as he looked over himself to see a person standing over him. The man was wearing the standard garb for Kumo shinobi and the white flak jacket that signified he was a jounin. He had baby blue eyes and blonde medium hair. Shit! Naruto thought as he saw the man. Hey buddy, sleep well? Atsui asked. A painful throb came over Naruto's head. I can't even remember what happened last night. And you are? Atsui. The fellow blonde spoke. Naruto, can you tell me where I am? Naruto asked nervously. Certainly. You're in my house. Please, don't tell me. Naruto thought as he heard that. In my sister's room. Phew, one less thing to worry about. Fudge out of the frying pan and into the fire. In my sister's bed. I'm going to die. With my sister and her best friend. Atsui hissed at him. What a way to go. Wait, what? Naruto though as he raised his head to see Samui in a thin nightie cuddling up to his hand and Yujito in his shirt cuddling to his other hand. Fudge. Any chance of me not dying? Naruto asked nervously as Atsui took out his sword. No, sorry. Atsui said as he stabbed down to Naruto's head. Thinking quickly, Naruto substituted himself with a pillow and ran full speed towards the window that was letting the sunlight in. Atsui quickly chased after him as Naruto crashed through the window and fell to the street, the commotion waking the girls up. Naruto quickly summoned his own sword to block the downward strike Atsui sent at him. He pushed Atsui away and got into a defensive stance as Atsui began making hand seals. Fire style, great fireball! Atsui yelled as he shot a large ball of fire towards Naruto. Naruto quickly rolled out of the way and watched as the fireball scorched the ground where he was standing. What's the matter, Naruto? Feeling a little hot under the collar? Atsui asked as Naruto growled. Naruto made a familiar cross sign and sent the clone after Atsui. The clone quickly charged at Atsui with sword in hand and slashed at his midsection, making Atsui focus on him. Naruto took the opportunity to make more hand seals and disappeared. As Atsui ducked under one of the clone's slashes, Atsui took the opportunity and stabbed the clone through the ribs, dispelling it with a poof of smoke. Atsui turned back around to see Naruto gone. Where did you go, you bastard? Atsui demanded in an angry tone, only to be caught off guard when a hand grabbed his ankle. Atsui was quickly dragged underground and buried up to his neck. Naruto appeared in front of him with his sword aimed at Atsui's neck. Earth style, double suicide decapitation. Naruto muttered. Stop, rang out Samui's voice. She and Yujito were dressed and outside in the street. This is so not cool. Naruto, meet my brother, Atsui. Wait, You know this guy? Atsui demanded as he struggled. Yeah, I do. Come on, we can talk more inside. Samui said as Naruto pulled Atsui from the ground. Back inside, Naruto awkwardly sat at a dinner table across from a fuming Atsui as Samui handed him a cup of tea. You don't remember anything from last night then? Yujito asked. Well, I remember music, dancing, and I think someone suggested a sponge bath. Naruto said through fuzzy images. Atsui fumed at the sponge bath thing, but settled after a glare from his sister. What happened? Naruto asked the two girls. Well, after I left you at the bar and our little talk, you stayed there for a good while. Then you got up, grabbed me, and took me to the dance floor. Samui said with a blush. You didn't even give me a choice, said something about living it up. Well, you were a horrible dancer, but you got me to loosen up and we started dancing. After a song or two, Yujito came in and stole you away. I went back to the bar entrance to see Karui and Omoi leaving. It was around midnight. About half an hour later, we all decided to leave. Thing is, none of us know where you live, Yujito said as she rubbed the back of her neck. My house is on the other side of the village, so we decided to drag you here. Samui said. And I didn't trust her alone with you, so I decided to stay. Yujito said with a puff of her cheeks. Anyway, then we dragged you to my room where we were going to put you to sleep and someone suggested a sponge bath, may have been me. Samui said with a large blush spreading on her cheeks, shocking her brother. And I may have agreed to it. Yujito said in a small voice. But we didn't actually do it, we only took off your shirt. Samui said in an embarrassed tone. So we left you on her bed and left to get some sleep. Yujito finished. Yeah, I think that's what happened. Just one question. If you guys left me on Samui's bed to sleep, how did I wake up with you two at my side? Naruto asked, making the girls blush. It's my bed, Samui playfully shot back. And I got cold. Yujito replied. Naruto smiled at the two girls. This was getting interesting. Chapter 23, /N, special shout out to NCP fan. He really took the time out to help me with my writing and I appreciate it. Oh, and I will not be doing Killer Bees raps, they're weird. Straight face, last time, Naruto smiled at the two girls. This was getting interesting. Now, Naruto's smile was quickly erased as his shirt was thrown at him. What? Naruto asked. Come on, we got a meeting with our new sensei in an hour. You and I need to go get changed, Yujito said as she dragged him out the door. Alright, I'll meet you guys at the training ground in a few. Naruto said as he sunshined away. Remember, training ground too. Samui yelled after him. Bunker. Naruto quickly walked in and walked straight into his room, only to see all of the monitors turned on and the Avengers looking straight at him. Where have you been? Natalia demanded as soon as he walked in. I was sleeping in a warm comfy bed with two girls, any other questions? Naruto replied as he walked into the bathroom. Natalia fumed as she disappeared from the monitor in the living area and reappeared in the bathroom monitor. Yes, what the hell did you do last night? Natalia asked as the rest of the Avengers came online to the one monitor in the bathroom. I went out, had a lovely dinner, went to a club, got half drunk, and was whisked away by a blonde duo to a warm bedroom. Then when I woke up, one of the blonde's brother tried to kill me. Naruto replied quickly as he turned off the monitor and dried off. He quickly put on his underwear, black t-shirt, and black pair of cargo pants. As soon as he stepped into his living area, Tony came on screen. I'm so proud of you, you're a chip off the old block. He said happily, making Naruto sweat drop. Shouldn't Natalia be in here kicking your ass for being a pervert and grilling mines for details? Naruto asked as he put on a pair of socks and his black combat boots. I've momentarily disabled all of the monitors in this room except mine's, now tell me about your encounter with the blonde duo. Tony said in a pervy tone. How about I don't and we say I did? Naruto replied as he put on his fingerless gloves. Tony's mood visibly dampened, but he quickly recovered his bright mood. Hey Tony, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. Naruto said, catching Tony's attention. What's up? Tony asked. I've been going through the dead technology cataloged in the archives and I came across something interesting. Naruto said as he walked up to his laptop and pulled up a picture of a cell phone. What, you want to recreate a cell phone? Tony asked. Not necessarily, just certain aspects. I realize calls are out of the league since we would need functioning satellites, but I was wondering if a short-range texting system could be created for a small 6-man team. Naruto asked. Well, how far would the range have to be? Tony asked as he analyzed the possibilities. About 15 to 20 miles would be fine. And it would, of course. Their manufacturing and creation will remain an Avengers secret. Naruto said. In theory it could work, but the transmitters would have to be attuned to each other. Shouldn't be too hard. Tony mused. Give me a few days and I'll get back to you on that one, Kay? Tony asked. Sure, I have to get going. Try to calm Natalia down for me, will ya? Naruto asked as he left the bunker. No promises, Tony said as he pulled up a cyber workbench and began looking through the schematics and jotting down a few notes about what would be needed. Training ground 2. Naruto quickly arrived at the training ground to see his team already there, talking to a large dark-skinned man with a muscular build, as well as white hair and a goatee. On his right shoulder, he has a tattoo of the kanji for iron, and he was wearing the standard uniform for Kyumo Jounin, including a white forehead protector and an oval pair of glasses. Hey guys, how's it going? And who are you? Naruto asked as he extended a hand to Killer Bee. Me, I'm Killer Bee. The Jinchuriki of the Hachibi. Bee exclaimed happily. How did you get named Killer Bee? Naruto asked with a sweat drop. 'Cause I float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Also, my full name is Kirabi, Killer Bee said, making Naruto sweat drop as he went to stand next to his team. Okay, so how can we help you? Naruto asked. I'm your new sensei. I'm here to help each of you better yourselves, Bee answered, but Naruto still wasn't buying it. This team consists of mainly Chunin level or better ninja. Why would the Raikage assign a sensei? Naruto warily asked. It's so he can help me with my special circumstances. A voice from behind Naruto said. Naruto turned to see Yujito standing behind him. Duh, Yujito probably needs help controlling the chakra of her Biju. Who better to help her than another Jinchuriki? Naruto mentally berated himself. Alright, I'm sorry for the third degree. Naruto said. No issue, now here are your assignments. I've read most of your profiles and know how you guys can improve. Bee said, making everyone perk up. Omoi, you need to work on your physical strength, so you are to go do physical exercises until I say stop. Bee said as he handed Omoi a 50-pound weight vest. What's this for? Omoi asked. To make things more challenging. Karui, you could do with a bit of grace when you handle your sword, so you are to go practice katas and movements. Bee said as he handed her a pair of 20-pound wrist weights. Samui, you need to increase your chakra reserves, so you are to go practice your fighting style while water walking. Bee said and handed her a pair of ankle weights. Try not to sink. Bee then turned to Yujito. Now Yujito. You need to gain a better degree of control over your chakra, but your speed and strength are also lacking, so your workouts are going to be different. Bee said as he handed her a weighed 50-pound vest and 20-pound weight ankle weights. First, you'll join Omoi for some physical training. Then, you'll go for about 30 laps around this training field. It'll be control exercise with Samui. And when I deem you ready, we'll see about getting your chakra source under control. Bee said. Yujito paled at the amount of work and left to go get started. Bee then turned to Naruto. Now, let's not bullshit. You and I both know the Raikage doesn't have a firm grasp on your abilities, so I'm afraid I can't help you much. Bee said. You got a 120-pound training vest? Naruto asked as he unzipped his Kevlar vest. Bee nodded and handed it to him. I'm used to 75 pounds, so this should be a bit better. I also have on a 30-pound ankle weight on each leg, so this should be a bit of a challenge. I'll just follow Yujito's routine, but end it with some sparring with clones and jutsu training. However, if you could help me develop my lightning chakra nature, that would be perfect. Naruto said, then turned to see Bee nodding. I'll get a fellow Jounin to help you with your lightning affinity. Also, I heard you have the bat summoning contract from the daimyo himself, is this true? B asked in interest. Yes, but I'm not signing it until I get a firm control of my reserves. No point in being able to summon boss if the chakra loss is so great, it kills you, is there? Naruto asked as he put on the training vest and followed after Yujito. With Yujito groaned as she struggled in her run. The extra weight was killing her. Why the hell did that sadistic excuse of a sense decide to give me so much weight? Yujito complained, only to hear the telltale sounds of someone running up beside her. She turned to see Naruto at her side jogging like it was no problem. Oh? Has the mighty decided to visit the downtrodden? Yujito asked. What are you complaining about? You only have 70 pounds of weight on you. Naruto shot back playfully at her. Look who's talking, you only have 50. Yujito shot back, pointing out his training vest. This is a 120-pound training vest. Not only that, but I have a 30-pound ankle weight strapped to each leg. You don't hear me complaining. Naruto muttered, making her blush in embarrassment. How the hell are you even standing? She asked the blonde nin. 'Cause my last teacher was more sadistic than this, Naruto said, remembering Natalia's training regimen. Now come on. We're both in hell for today, so we might as well make it fun. Naruto said as he winked at her and began running faster, leaving her behind. A large smile grew on Yujito's face as she sped up trying to catch up with Naruto. Oh no you don't. And with that the beginning of a training race was announced. Time skip, 2 weeks into training. Naruto groaned as he got out of bed and went to take a shower. For these last couple of weeks, things had been going pretty well for him and the rest of Team Yujito. As he stepped out of the shower, Tony appeared onto the monitor. Hey Naruto, have you finished the circuitry layout? Tony asked. Yeah, have you finished calibrating the signal to move the messages from device to device? Naruto asked as he got dressed. It's been a bit tricky, but I've gotten the data to be wirelessly transferred up to 19 miles. So, when do you think you'll be able to start on the prototype? Tony asked as he inspected Naruto's work. Not tonight, 'cause I have something big planned for today. Naruto replied with a grin. Oh, what do you have planned for today? Tony asked as Naruto finished getting dressed and walked over to a shelf brimming with scrolls. He pulled out a black one with golden edges and the kanji for bat on it. Today, I'm signing this contract and getting accepted by the Bat Clan. Naruto stated defiantly as he left the bunker. Wait. Tony said, making Naruto turn around. Go to the top shelf in the equipment room and grab a pair of goggles labeled night vision. Naruto nodded and went to the equipment room and checked the top shelf. He pulled out a pair of binoculars that had straps to be adjusted top his head and green-tinted lenses. What's this? Naruto asked as he tried the night vision goggles on. As the name implies, they allow you to see in the dark. Turn them on with the switch on the side and everything will get clear in a green shade. Tony stated. Naruto nodded and left the bunker, leaving Tony to inspect his schematics. Tony smirked as he looked over the schematics for the texting devices. That kid's going to get himself killed one of these days, Tony muttered. Training ground 2. Naruto smiled as he arrived at the training ground. Omoi was sparring against Samui in the middle of a lake while Karui and Yujito sparred at the edge. B was sitting on a tree branch watching them, then noticed Naruto. Look who finally decided to show up, he said. Everyone turned to see Naruto lugging holding a regular-sized black scroll in his hand. Wait, you're going to... Omoi began, only for Naruto to cut him off. Yep, I'm going to sign the bat summoning contract today. Everyone's faces paled at this declaration. The Bat Clan hadn't had a summoner in a long time. Either they were hostile or their expectations were exceedingly demanding. Either way, no bat had seen the light of the human world for over 20 years. Naruto-kun, are you sure about this? Samui and Yujito asked, then glared at each other. Yeah, I'm sure. Naruto said as he laid the scroll out on the ground and looked at the next blank spot. Now, you need to sign this in blood, so bite down on your thumb and get on with it. An excited B told Naruto. Naruto bit his thumb and signed his name onto the contract, then turned to B. Now what? He asked. Now, begin channeling chakra to your hands, bite your thumb for the required blood sacrifice, and do these hand seals. Be stated as he showed him the hand seals for summoning. And on the last hand seal, slam your hands on the ground and release the built-up chakra. Be finished. Naruto nodded and began channeling chakra to his hands, then bit his thumb. Boar, dog, monkey, bird, ram. Naruto internally yelled as he slammed his hand on the ground. A large poof of smoke engulfed him, and by the time it cleared, only the scroll remained. Naruto had vanished. Chapter 24. I warmed ShadowWolf 144's egg on a website. I feel abused. T to the power of T. On a less perverse sounding note, I have decided to cave to a few reviews and for this chapter only, made it longer. Woohoo for peer pressure, straight face. As per some requests, here's some insight to Konoha's view of the story, so here it is, me caving. Now, onto the story. Last time, Naruto had vanished. Now, Konoha no Sato. Minato Namake's sighed as he looked at Team Kakashi standing before him. And after I'd crossed the finish line, we were given payment and we left. Kakashi finished. Well done, Kakashi-san. You and your team will be compensated for your services once the payment is equally distributed. Everyone except for Hiruzen is dismissed. Minato finished. Sakura and Sasuke left with Kakashi, leaving father and son to their own devices. Yes, Hokage-sama? Hiruzen asked through gritted teeth. Would you please drop the formalities? Your mother and I are worried about you. Minato said. Oh, now you're worried about your son? Hiruzen shot back. You know what I mean. Minato replied. Oh, enlighten me, will you, father dearest? How is this different than what happened to my older brother? Hiruzen asked. You haven't been sleeping in the clan estate for more than 2 months now. Ever since you got back from Wave. We don't know whether you eat, sleep, how you live. Minato pleaded. Did you ever think about that when my brother was gone? He's been gone since I was 6, but never once did I see you lift a finger to find him. Hiruzen replied. My mother didn't once worry whether he ate or how he lives. Hiruzen demanded. Because she was busy training you. Are you implying that was time wasted? Minato screamed back. If this is the cost, then yes, Hiruzen said. By your leave, Hokage-sama? Hiruzen asked. He quickly shunshined away, leaving a fuming Minato in his office. Minato sat back down at his desk and looked at the open window. Alright, you can come out, Jiraiya-sensei. He said. The wall besides the window shimmered and Jiraiya stepped out. I'm guessing he's still pissed off at the whole Naruto thing. Jiraiya said. That's sugar-coating it. But, I'm sure you didn't come here to reminisce. Any word on this Naruto Romanoff character? Minato asked. As far as my spy network can tell, he was last seen in Managashi Mansion. Jiraiya replied. The Thunder Daimo's home? Minato asked surprised. Yeah, far as I can tell, Kumo may have recruited him. Jiraiya replied. This isn't good. If he knows where my son is, we won't be able to get to him without inciting war. Minato said as he slammed his fist on his desk. Jiraiya's face grew grim at that. Minato, he may be your biological son, but that's as far as you and him are family. Jiraiya, I didn't know the repercussions. Minato began, only to be cut off by an angry Jiraiya. You knew the repercussions, damn it. You and Kushina, but you know what you two did? You sent that kid out in the cold with a smile on your faces. Jiraiya yelled at Minato. You're no better. You and Tsunade are just as guilty as we are. When he left that night, you guys didn't search either. Minato yelled back. Jiraiya simmered down and took a seat. I'm not ignoring my mistakes, I acknowledge them. You're ignoring the ones you made. Jiraiya said, then looked to Minato. Hey, the Chunin exams are going to be held here in a month or 2, right? Jiraiya asked. Minato silently nodded. How about I try to train your son? He hasn't summoned the toads in a while or the slugs. Maybe I can help him out or at least get him ready for the fights. Jiraiya said. You're free to try, but he won't accept. I've already tried to teach him the Hiraishin and Kushina, tried to get him interested in Kenjutsu and sealing, but he's refused. Minato replied. Jiraiya sighed as he looked at his student. Well, we can try. Jiraiya said. Yeah, all we can do is try. Minato said as he looked over the village. Meantime, with Naruto, Naruto coughed as the smoke surrounding him dispelled. He opened his eyes and looked around to see nothing. Why is everything so dark? Naruto wondered as he put on his night vision goggles. He turned them on to see a dark chasm before him and what seemed to be a large dark abyss. He took a step back and looked up to see various figures clinging to the ceiling top. Naruto got up. Anyone there? He asked as he carefully took his steps. Bat Guano. Naruto thought. A dark blur flashed before him and he turned to see a relatively tall 3-foot bat standing before him. What the? Naruto thought. Hey, I'm Naruto Romanov. And you are? Naruto asked the bat. The bat inspected him with a close eye. My name is Zayami. Who are you and what are you doing here? The bat asked with an annoyed tone. Like I said, my name is Naruto Romanov. I am a human and I signed the bat summoning contract and ND. Naruto was quickly cut off by Zayami's wings smacking him in the face. What the hell? Naruto yelled, only to be once again smacked by Zayami. Shut up, you idiot. It's dangerous here. Zayami said as she jumped up to Naruto's shoulder and gripped with her legs. Come on, she whispered as she carefully inspected the area. A few of the bat summons had begun to gather where Naruto appeared, but other than that nothing major had happened. Good, it would have been a bloodbath if any of the other officers had found him. Zayami thought as she took off to the chief's cave atop of the mountain. Mountain top, chief's cave. Naruto groaned as Zayami finally let go of his shoulders and dropped him to the ground. Damn, that hurt like hell. Naruto thought as he rubbed his left shoulder. He looked up to see a large imposing creature hanging upside down. Naruto got up as a loud voice shook the cave. Who dares stand before me? The voice demanded. Naruto steeled himself and spoke. My name is Naruto Romanov, last and first of the Avengers, Chunin of Kumo, adoptive son of the Black Widow, and the new holder of the bat summoning contract. Naruto exclaimed loudly. Well, Naruto Romanov, I am Orfeo, the darkness and the boss of the Bat Clan. Orfeo exclaimed as a loud rumbling resounded throughout the cave and a large red eye opened in front of him. Naruto looked up to see as the large bat hanging before him spread his giant wings and looked him dead in the eye. The bat then shook and looked dead at Naruto. So, you're the new holder of the bat summoning contract. We haven't had a summoner in over 20 years. What makes you think we want you? The boss demanded in a loud voice. Because I'm willing to fight for it, I don't expect it to be freely given to me. Naruto replied. The bat boss laughed loudly as he shook his head and fell to the ground, landing on all fours and crawling towards the entrance to his cave. So, you're willing to fight for it, huh Naruto-san? Hop on and we'll see if you're worthy. The boss said, making Zayami gasp. Orfeo-sama, you don't mean? Zayami said as she was cut off. Yes, Zayami. We will begin the summoner's test, Orfeo said as Naruto climbed onto his back. With a powerful jump, Orfeo jumped from the entrance to his cave and glided towards the base of the mountain. Naruto watched the levels of the large mountain-like chasm ascend all around him as he used chakra to stick to Orfeo's back. This place is amazing. Where are we? Naruto asked Orfeo. That information will be disclosed to you if you manage to pass the summoner's exam, Orfeo said as he flew towards the wall near the bottom of the chasm. Before he impacted on the wall, he folded his wings and positioned his legs and claws in front of him. He landed on the wall and crawled towards a large hole on the wall. Naruto covered his night vision goggles and gripped the mane around Orfeo's neck to stay on his back as Orfeo crawled through the hole. Naruto mentally yelled as the stalagmites hanging from the ceiling of the tunnel dug into his back, but voiced nothing aloud. Good. Orfeo said as he emerged in a large circular room that looked to be shaped like a volcano. You have passed the crawl of endurance. Now we must assemble the other bat officers. With that said, Orfeo cocked his head back and let loose an ear-piercing screech, which resounded all around the arena. Within moments, several bats ranging from 9 to 15 feet in size arrived. "Why have we been summoned, Orfeo-sama?" one of the officers asked as he landed on the floor right beside them on all fours. "We have a newcomer who wishes to become the Bat Summoner," Orfeo replied, making the Bat officer hiss. "Then the trial is to take place, I assume?" the officer said, getting a nod in response from Orfeo. "Trial? What trial?" Naruto asked as he stared at the exchange between the two summons. "A trial by which we will determine whether you are fit to become the new summoner of the bats." A feminine voice spoke from above him. He looked up to see another bat officer hanging upside down above his head, but this one had a red mane of shaggy hair on her chest instead of the usual gray. "What do these trials entail?" Naruto curiously asked. Before the large bat in front of him could answer, Orfeo responded him. "The trial is simple. You are to stay on my back for either 8 consecutive hours in flight or you are to force me to land. However, during those 8 hours, I may do anything to throw you off, whether it's slamming my back full force into a wall or a simple barrel roll." Orfeo replied, making Naruto a bit nervous. "We will be at the highest point of this arena, so if you fall, you will fall to your death. Should one of my officers come to your aid, you will become that officer's personal slave." "Any questions?" Orfeo asked Naruto. Naruto shook his head and stared defiantly at Orfeo. "When do we begin?" he asked with a little cockiness in his voice. "Oh, I like him," the large bat hanging over him commented. "By the power I hold as head of the Bat Clan, I hereby call the summoner trial to begin," Orfeo shouted, gaining a massive uproar from all of the bat officers present. Orfeo spread out one of his wings and motioned for Naruto to climb on. Naruto quickly jumped onto Orfeo's back and began channeling chakra to his feet. Orfeo used his powerful hind legs to jump and began flapping his wings, rising farther and farther. Naruto was inwardly freaking out as he saw the ground getting further and further away. Shit. Alright, if I pass this, I get to be the Bat Summoner, if not it's either death or slavery. Really optimistic choices. Naruto mused as Orfeo climbed higher and higher, almost reaching the ceiling. "Alright, what do I know about bats?" Naruto asked himself as he tried to remember what Hawkeye and Tony had taught him about wild animals. Bats. Alright, prefer darkness. Most vampire bats only feed off livestock. Most bats mainly feed on fruit, not necessarily poor eyesight, but they use sonar to navigate. Sonar, of course. It's just sending out a wave of sound and waiting to get feedback on it to map out the room. Now how can I use it to my advantage? Naruto thought as he used his night vision goggles to scope the arena for anything useful. Damn it, there's nothing but rocks and stalagmites. Naruto thought as the boss started doing barrel rolls to mess up his concentration. Mess up his concentration, of course. I need a distraction that not only messes him up, but also causes sand waves to interfere with his sonar. Naruto thought as he unsealed his collapsible bow. With a flick of his wrist, it armed and he began to take aim, only for Orfeo to slam his back against the wall, crushing him. The pressure was unbearable, but after a second Orfeo hopped off and continued his flight. Naruto watched as the arrow he had been aiming fell to the floor at incredible speeds and buried itself into the ground. Note to self, do not fall. Naruto thought as he grabbed another arrow and aimed it to the ceiling. As soon as it had buried itself, Naruto took another one and aimed it at a different part of the ceiling. Before he could shoot it, he saw Orfeo was flying back towards the wall with intent to slam his back into it. Not again! Naruto yelled as he aimed the arrow at the wall and fired. As soon as it got near the wall, it exploded, discombobulating Orfeo. Naruto watched as Orfeo faltered and crashed headfirst into the wall. He then took aim at an overgrown stalagmite and fired the arrow at it. It quickly sunk itself into the stalagmite and Naruto looked defiantly at the head of Orfeo. With Zayami and the officers, there's no way this one is going to be able to make it. We've had stronger try and they all have failed. An arrogant voice stated. I have a feeling this one is going to be different. A feminine voice rebutted. Oh yeah, what kind of surprises could this little human have in store? A gruff voice added, only worsening the argument. Before anyone else could add his or her 2 cents, a large explosion shook the arena. The officers looked up to see Orfeo falter and crash head first into the wall. What the hell was that? Xiaomi demanded. Maybe the brat does have a trick or two up his sleeve. The gruff voice said in a mirthful tone. Before anyone could berate him, a loud resounding explosion echoed through the arena. With Naruto walked down towards Orfeo's mane and laid down, using chakra to stick his whole body. He took out another arrow and aimed it to his right past Orfeo's ear. Easy, easy. Naruto whispered as he calculated the right time. Orfeo suddenly shot off into 3 loops in an attempt to shake Naruto off. In a split second, Naruto charged chakra into his bow and fired it off. As soon as it got near Orfeo's ear, it went off with a huge bang. The sudden bomb going off in Orfeo's ear made him dizzy and had his head ringing. Orfeo tried to send out another sound wave so he could locate himself, but the waves from the explosion kept messing up his hearing. Orfeo was irritated as he screeched loudly, sending off waves that overpowered the ringing and let him locate himself. Not quite, old man, Naruto thought as he put his fingers into a sign and detonated the arrows on the ceiling. The loud explosion shook the arena and began sending off waves of sound everywhere, once again confusing Orfeo. Orfeo tried to fight through the confusion, only to howl as a large rock dislodged from the ceiling by the explosion slammed against his face. He howled in a desperate attempt to use his sonar to get back in control, but was shocked by the fact that there seemed to be rocks falling everywhere. He tried to maneuver past them, but Naruto had a different plan. He quickly detonated the arrow buried in the stalagmite. Orfeo saw this and quickly folded his wings, going into a nosedive directly to the ground. Easy, easy, now. Orfeo internally yelled as he expanded his wings to stop his descent and glide. Naruto quickly remembered about the 2 arrows he dropped and detonated them right underneath Orfeo, making the boss summon fall to the floor in a smoking mess. The officers and Xiaomi quickly made their way to where the boss had crashed and waited to see if there was any sign of life. Chapter 25. Last time. The officers and Xiaomi quickly made their way to where the boss had crashed and waited to see if there was any sign of life. Now, Naruto groaned as he tried to get up. His head was ringing and his vision was blurry. What the hell hit me? Naruto asked as he tried to get up, only to be stopped by what felt like 30 pounds of leather lying on top of him. Right. Naruto muttered as he felt the thin veins through the parchment like skin. He quickly started pounding against them in an attempt to wake the boss up. Come on, Orfeo, get up already. Naruto said as he crawled his way out from under the massive wing. What the hell hit me? Orfeo asked as he stirred and lifted his wing. Naruto quickly crawled out and stood up in front of Orfeo. Me. He replied as he reached to his back and took hold of a sharp rock buried into his back. He took it out and took a sharp breath. Naruto then walked up towards Orfeo, only to stop when a large, hulking figure landed in front of him. What the hell are you trying to pull? A gruff voice demanded as the figure grabbed Naruto by the vest and slammed him into the floor. Naruto winced as the ground made impact with his body, but otherwise stayed quiet. The figure raised its sharp claws and swung down at him, only to be blown away by Orfeo's large claw slamming him away. That's enough! Orfeo exclaimed, getting Naruto's and the group's attention. But, Orfeo-sama, he nearly killed you. The gruff voice said as it expanded its wings in order to stop itself from hitting the wall. He used his smarts and what he had on hand to defeat me. Not only that, but he actually grounded me. In all of the Bat Clan's history, no summoner has ever been able to accomplish that. Orfeo shot back as it rose on all fours, silencing the figure. Orfeo looked at Naruto as he got up. You have not only passed the summoner's test, but also exceeded the expectations by managing to ground me. I deem you worthy. Orfeo exclaimed. Naruto smiled as the other officers and Xiaomi descended to greet him. Naruto-sama. You did it! Xiaomi exclaimed happily. Please, no honorifics. I'm just Naruto. Naruto said as he scratched the back of his head. Good going, brat. My name is Logan. The large figure said in a rough voice. Naruto saw the bat standing on all fours like Orfeo, but he had dark red hair, almost blood red. He was tall and well built, a fighter if he ever saw one. My name is Sarah. The feminine voice called out to him. He turned to see a slender female bat hanging from the ceiling with the wings ready to take off. Her hair was a blood red and her body seemed to be made for speed. "My name is Vlad," the arrogant voice said. Naruto looked up to see the large bat with silver hair looking down at him. Naruto looked at the bat, but this one seemed more relaxed than the others. Great, the level-headed one is arrogant, Naruto thought as Orfeo cleared his throat to grab his attention. "Naruto, if you would please climb on so that we may finish this business in my cave?" Orfeo asked. Naruto nodded and climbed onto the boss's back and held on tight. Orfeo, the three officers, and Zayami quickly took off towards Orfeo's cave. Orfeo's cave. Naruto winced as he landed from the jump from Orfeo's back. "Naruto-san, are you okay?" Sarah asked him when she saw him reach for his back. "Yes, I'm fine. It's just that I don't usually go around stabbing stakes into my back unless it's Friday," Naruto replied. "Well then Naruto, we won't keep you long," Orfeo said as he clung to the ceiling with his legs and wrapped his wings around himself. "Zayami, please turn on the light," Orfeo asked. Suddenly, the lights turned on and Naruto fell back. He quickly took off his night vision goggles and started blinking rapidly trying to get his vision back to normal. "Are you okay?" Zayami asked. "Yeah, the light just reacted badly to my night vision goggles," Naruto said. "Well then, let us get on with the introductions, shall we?" Vlad asked in an exasperated tone. "Right," Orfeo said. "Well, then Naruto, you have met Zayami. She is the second fastest bat summon around, and the fourth of the officers," Orfeo said as Zayami waved at Naruto. "Then there's Vlad, the most well-rounded of the officers and third," Orfeo said, drawing attention to the silver-haired bat. Vlad snorted and looked away. "Then there's me," a sultry voice over Naruto said. Naruto looked up to see Sarah hanging over him. "That's Sarah, the fastest of the bat summons and the second of the officers," Orfeo said, getting a giggle out of Sarah. "Tease," she said in a flirty tone, drawing a snort from the last figure in the room. "And I'm Logan, second in command of the Bat Clans and first of the officers," Logan said as he approached Naruto. "Word will spread quickly that there is a new summoner amongst the bats, and even faster since you managed to ground the bat boss," Logan said, getting a snort from Orfeo. "Either way, you need to be careful and stay alive, brat. You're no good to anyone dead. Go home and get rested. The Bat Clan is backing you up now," Orfeo said. Naruto nodded and was about to leave, but was stopped by Orfeo. "Wait." Naruto turned to see Orfeo's long nails by his shoulder. With a quick stab, a burning sensation ran through his veins and he fell to the floor. Naruto looked up at Orfeo, then turned to see the tattoo of a bat silhouette on his arm opposite of his ceiling tattoo. "That tattoo is for when you are under fire and have no time to summon normally," Sarah said as she looked at the tattoo. "Just wipe some blood on it and slam your hands on the ground with the appropriate chakra level and a summon will appear," Logan finished. Naruto nodded as a large poof of smoke engulfed him completely. "Things are going to get interesting again, that much is for sure," Zayami said with a smile. "Interesting indeed," Orfeo muttered as he looked at his record of every summoner and wrote Naruto Romanov into a new slot. Back in Kumo, Samui, Yujito and the others were sitting in the Raikage office with the bat summoning scroll spread out in front of them. After Naruto had disappeared in a poof of smoke, B had insisted that they go to A. Omoi's paranoid theories didn't help the case either. So here they were, waiting in the Raikage office. "What the hell is taking him so long?" Samui lashed out, surprising everyone in the room that the cool person had lost it. "Hey, come on, I'm sure he's fine," Yujito said, trying to comfort the girl. "How would you know? The Bat Clan hasn't had a summoner in years, and it isn't because of a lack of trying," Samui said through gritted teeth. "Come on, show a little faith in him. He's gotten through tougher scrapes," Karui said in an attempt to calm the girls down. However, all she got in return was a death glare from the two kunoichis. Before either of them could say anything, a loud poof resounded through the room and filled it with smoke. Samui and Yujito quickly turned and rushed past the smoke to see Naruto standing there, looking like hell. He had a large puncture wound near his back, several small stab wounds around his torso, and a few slashes in his legs and torsos. His clothes were torn and had slashes, and his vest had a large puncture in it. What the hell happened to you? Karui asked as Yujito and Samui helped him get to a chair. Summoner's test is a lot more difficult than I expected. Naruto replied, then asked for a glass of water. A buzzed Mabui in and told her to bring in a glass of water and paramedics, then turned to Naruto. What happened and where did you go? A asked in a serious tone. I need antibiotics and liquids right now. That and a first aid kit to clean my wounds. Naruto said, cutting off the rakeage. A grumbled, but conceded when he saw the large wound on Naruto's back. After the paramedics arrived, they started Naruto on a course of antibiotics and began treating the wounds. Now what happened? A asked again. Well, I arrived at the summon world and was greeted by a bat summon, then taken to the boss. Naruto began, everyone listening intently. One explanation later. You've got to be kidding me. You're telling me you were not only squished by the full weight of the bat boss, but you managed to ground him? A asked in an exasperated tone. Naruto nodded as the nurse replaced his four. Okay, so these officers. Yujito began. 4 officers, top dogs in the clan. Only one above them is the boss. Naruto replied. And you managed to take him down? Samui asked once again in a doubtful tone. Yeah, you just have to have a plan. Naruto said. So, the Bat Clan has allied itself with Kumo. A muttered. No. Naruto said, interrupting A's train of thought. What do you mean, no? A asked. They clearly said they are aligned with me, and have my back. Not with my village, Naruto said as he looked outside the window and noticed it was getting dark. Omoi and Karui had left a while ago to their clan homes, leaving only Samui and Yujito behind with B and A. Hey old man, I'm going to get going. Naruto said as he unhooked himself from his 4 and slowly got up. Before he could take a step, Samui and Yujito were at his side helping him. By your leave. Naruto said. Dismissed. A said and Naruto gently walked away. As soon as Naruto and the girls had left, I let out a loud sigh. What's the matter, bro? B asked A. That kid, he's getting to be a major player in the shinobi world, and soon he will be a great influence. A replied. Naruto's going to be alright. He's got a good head on his shoulders. B said in an attempt to raise A's spirits. And if he doesn't, he's got 2 angels by his side who will. Amused as he looked out his window. He saw Naruto being supported by the 2 blonde kunoichis as they walked down the street. With Naruto and the girls, Naruto winced as he took a step. Ow. Another step. Mother fu. A third step. Ha. He muttered in a perplexed tone. I think I'm better, Naruto said as he took another step with closed eyes, then stayed silent. Naruto-kun, are you okay? Samui asked as she nudged him and his eyes snapped open. Sorry, I just passed out for a moment. Naruto said. Alright, you're coming with us. Yujito said as they dragged him towards Samui's home. In Samui's home, Samui's bedroom, Naruto groaned as the girls helped him up the stairs. As soon as they got to Samui's room, they took off his messed up and bloody clothes and let him fall onto the crisp clean sheets. Naruto quickly adjusted himself and grabbed the first thing he could to cuddle with. As soon as he did, he heard a moan and looked to see Samui and Yujito in their underwear climbing into bed with him. What are you guys doing? Naruto asked. Going to sleep. Now hush. Samui said as she cuddled to his side and Yujito mimicked the action on his opposite side. Naruto shrugged and wrapped an arm around each of them and drifted off to sleep. I'm the luckiest bastard alive. Naruto mused as he drifted off to sleep. That's it for this reading. Hit like and subscribe for a free ticket pass going to the different worlds of anime fanfiction. Looking forward to having you on board again.